going the way towards Dublin. Paul Galvin gets a hand in there. It was James McCaffrey or James. Final Kerry and Dublin, a repeat of the final of 2011. Referee checks his watch. I'll check mine. He bends down and the game is on in Croke Park, and the first break of the afternoon is going the way towards Dublin. Paul Galvin gets a hand in there. It was James McCaffrey or James McCarthy that thought he had it. Colm Cooper all of 50 yards out. Long high ball inside, well held inside there. That's looking like James O'Donoghue. It is James O'Donoghue, keeps it in place soccer style. Kerry, remember, playing into the hill end in the first half. It's Paul Galvin who gets this one very tight, giving it back to Darren O'Sullivan. Darren now to James O'Donoghue. Nice little pass into the middle to Anthony Maher. He missed the quarter final. Great pass all the way across the field. This is looking like a chance for Kerry. It's the first kick of the afternoon, and it's the first wide of the afternoon. Fionn Fitzgerald, I think, the man all the way up there kicking that one.
Yeah, he was up at the end of that passing move there. Colm Cooper got the ball, left a lovely ball into James O'Donoghue, caught the ball, dropped it, eventually the ball finished up with Fionn Fitzgerald, and away come Dublin. They win that kick out.
Quick kick out. Paul Flynn won it there ahead of Peter Crowley. Took a lot of steps. Referee didn't see his back turn. Colm Cooper gets the break for Kerry. Round the middle of the field, looking up. Short ball surely to Galvin. He does. Has Paul Galvin the legs to get to this one. Paul Galvin in a rush. The ball winning play. Galvin nicely, soccer style, gets inside James McCarthy. Galvin toe pokes it out. The referee says you touch it on the ground, and it's a free out to Dublin.
Yes, indeed, a good start by Dublin, because Kerry a bit nervous at the start there. They're anxious to get off the good start. Usually when Kerry play Dublin in the championship, they usually get the first few scores. That's the way it has been generally down through the years, and they'd be hoping for a big start today. Conditions absolutely perfect here in Croke Park.
Well, remember in 2009 Kerry gave them a lesson, 124-17, but in 2011 Dublin got back 112-111. It's Dublin on the burst over in the far side. It's a fantastic run by Brennan there, in fighting tight to the middle now, gives it to Paul Mannion bearing down. Paul Mannion is through. Paul Mannion has blazed it over the bar. That should have been a goal for Dublin.
That should have been a goal for Dublin. Mannion got right through. It was a great move run by Jack McCaffrey. We're talking about that all the week, the halfbacks. Mannion got the ball, he went right through, and once again the Dublin failing. He should have left it after the man inside him. An open goal, they went right through the Kerry defence like a knife through butter. Mannion put the ball over the bar there, should have scored it.
Apologies, it wasn't. It was Michael Darragh Macaulay that got it. He came through from the midfield. The number 8, Michael Darragh Macaulay. It was Mannion that laid it off.
It was moving so fast, but it was a great run by the wing back Jack McCaffrey. That's what he's known for, and he'll have to be stopped from those runs.
Donncha Walsh and Jack McCaffrey. Donncha inside to Declan. Declan has gone inside Rory Carroll. Declan checks his stride, puts it on the left. Declan O'Sullivan high, and Declan O'Sullivan over the bar for Kerry. The first score for the Kingdom after 2.5 minutes.
Lovely point by Declan O'Sullivan there. Got the ball over under, hit 16 over in the corner there, turned around with the left leg. He floated that lovely ball over the bar, came around, got inside his man 21 metres out, left leg, floated the ball beautifully over the bar, and once again Kerry caught with a kick out.
Yeah, Cluxton taking it quickly. Ger McCarthy getting it from Johnny Cooper, back again to Ger McCarthy. It's a very, very patient build up. It's Kevin O'Brien in his full back line, cross to the full back. Rory O'Carroll yet to get outside the Kerry half back line.
Kerry are conceding the ball to Dublin inside the 45 and then stopping them coming out.
And here comes Paul Flynn in the middle of the field, transfers it on to Kevin O'Brien. Good run by the right corner back. He's approaching the Kerry 45. He's gone inside it. Low ball inside to Brogan. Bernard Brogan turns, shoots, and Bernard Brogan over the bar. Well, Mark O'Shea gave Brogan a lot of room that time, and he'll have to tighten up for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, Mark O'Shea left Brogan come out and left him come out in front of him and got the ball there, and Brogan turned around. He had time to stop, look, and pop the ball over the bar there at the canal end, and Mark will have to stay that little bit closer to him.
Keeley with a quick kick out. Paul Galvin pushed in the back. It's a free just inside the 45-yard line in the left half-back position to Kerry, and Paul Galvin is to take it. 3 minutes and 45 seconds gone. Dublin lead by 2 points to 1, and the referee Cormac Riley telling Paul Galvin to go back a little bit further, and Galvin plays it safely into Anthony Maher. He catches it nicely in the middle of the field. 2 or 3 jerseys around him. Dermot Connolly's won, and it's lost again by Kerry in the tackle. Dermot Connolly's won it back inside the 45-yard line. Dermot Connolly half blocked by Maher, but not fully blocked by Maher. That's a point for Dermot Connolly, and Dublin lead 3-1.
Yeah, Dermot Connolly, and once again it was a turnover. Finn Fitzgerald lost the ball there, and he was just thrown off the ball. It went to Connolly and he popped the ball over the bar, and it's the Dublin speed that everyone has been talking about all along there. They're getting a lot of ball out around the middle of the field, winning a lot of ball, and he popped the ball over the bar with the left leg.
Brendan Keeley to take this kick out. 4.5 minutes gone. Advantage Dublin so far. Out for Johnny Buckley Country. High goes Buckley, but again the break has gone the way of Dublin. Kerry conceding a lot of breaks. Tomas O'Shea wasn't next to near his man that time. Here now again is Dublin. Is his wing back Jack McCaffrey, the man with pace, the man that got a goal in the Leinster final, gives it back to Paul Flynn. Paul Flynn now against the Kieran Kilkenny, played against Kenmare of course in the club championship this year. High ball by Paddy Andrews. Over there on the far side it's all Dublin, and it's Cian O'Sullivan working his way in. Cian O'Sullivan with a very good run. Kerry can't tackle here. Man pulled to the ground. The referee says get up and get on with it. Shane Enright trying to get it back for Kerry. Ball gone across the face of the goal harmlessly because no Dublin player inside the big square, but Dublin looked dangerous.
Yeah, look, very dangerous. We were lucky to get away there. Thought was a free in for Dublin. The referee said play on the bomb across the face of the square. No Dublin player were there. Once again,
Mark Griffin has lost an easy one. That's very unsettling for the St. Michael's Filemore man. Mark lost it. It's back to Paddy Andrews. Tight angle. He'll have a cut. It should be Keeley's, and it is the Kilcummin man.
What's happening, Gary, is some of the Kerry defenders are getting the ball knocked away from them. The turnover, they're being hit and they're losing a lot of possession.
Here's Donncha Walsh. Donncha Walsh looking for Colm Cooper. Nicely getting ahead of Brennan. Ger Brennan is the marker. It's man to man so far. Gooch and Brennan pulled and dragged to the ground by Ger Brennan, and certainly the crowd don't like the fact that Brennan has got in really on top of Gooch. Maybe he didn't hear the whistle.
Yeah, there was no need of that there for Brennan, because the free was given to Colm Cooper, and Brennan went down and caught Colm Cooper and tried to drag him up off the ground. That was completely and utterly wrong there by the centre back. Referee talking to him now. There was no need for that.
No card being shown though to Ger Brennan. Just inside, and in fact the ball is going to be brought forward a good 15 or 20 yards for not retreating. Maybe a good decision by Cormac Riley. This now almost on the 45, and Colm Cooper to take it. Will he go for point? Will he go backwards? What will he do? He's taking his time. He's going to play it backwards to Tomas O'Shea. He'll have no problem going for a point if he can get one. Tomas trying to burst the tackle, getting inside Diarmuid Connolly, checks his stride. Still Tomas holding on. There's a Kerry man lying prostrate on the ground, taking a long time to get up. That's Paul Galvin. Gooch, lovely ball inside to Donncha Walsh. A chance for Kerry. Goal! A goal from James O'Donoghue, all made by Colm Cooper.
Brilliant goal by the Legion man. He was at the end of that lovely passing move. Colm Cooper started it off there. James O'Donoghue with the left leg, he got right through. There's a Kerry man down at the moment, and James O'Donoghue with the left leg just got the ball, turned around, took a lovely pass from Donncha Walsh, and with the left leg he hit a rocket of a shot low into the corner of the net, and Cluxton never even moved.
Gooch, Donncha Walsh and James O'Donoghue. The referee since has shown a yellow card to James McCarthy, the Dublin right half-back, for an off-the-ball incident with Paul Galvin. Great goal by Kerry.
Great goal by Kerry. Well, the one thing about Dublin, we said all along they were going to play open football, and if you give Kerry room they will trouble you. And once again Cluxton is allowed to kick out the ball, and Dublin have possession the way they come. It's 1-1 to 3 points. Kerry lead by points.
They do indeed. What a goal by James O'Donoghue, brilliantly made by Colm Cooper and Donncha Walsh. Mark Griffin gets a hat block on this. Shane Enright trying to get down, and in fact it's Mark O'Shea. Mark O'Shea being fouled by Bernard Brogan, and that goal has settled Kerry.
Yeah, well, Mark O'Shea was well out to the ball there. Very, very open game at the moment.
Here goes Declan, leaving his man in his wake. Declan leaving the full forward pair, taking two belts to the shoulders, giving it back to Donncha Walsh. Two men inside him. One of them is James O'Donoghue again. Plenty of men outside him. One is Anthony Maher. He goes long for Darren and for Gooch. Well, that's gone right and wide from the Kerry man.
Yeah, James O'Donoghue came away out the field there, and remember that Declan O'Sullivan, the full forward, he was away down the field, and once again Kerry lose the kick out, and Cluxton finds his man away from Dublin.
Inside it goes this time for Kieran Kilkenny, pushing it back by Fionn Fitzgerald. It's going to be free on midfield, about 70 yards out from the Kerry goal. Noreen O'Shea from Toronto and Canada is tuned into us this afternoon. All over the world, we'll be getting through as many as we can. Noreen, I hope you're enjoying it so far. Kerry are leading here 1-1 to a point. High ball by Jack McCaffrey. Dangerous ball inside. Shane Enright had it and he lost it. There's danger here. Brogan is in. Brogan has put it inches wide.
Oh, Alan Brogan, how did you miss it? How did you miss it there? A big defensive mix-up by Kerry there. Alan Brogan took the ball from Paul Mannion, and he tried to roll the ball into the corner of the net and just rolled it wide.
Yeah, Bernard Brogan, what a miss. In fairness to Keeley, he smothered the angle. He made it hard for him.
He came out, Gary, he smothered the angle well, but it was a great pass by Mannion to Brogan.
Oh, that was a chance. That should have been a goal for Dublin. High ball. Anthony Maher breaks it down. Well done by Peter Crowley. Paul Galvin on the bust is Fionn Fitzgerald. Great ball into his fellow Crokesman. Colm the Gooch Cooper. He takes a shoulder. He gets up once again. Plays it outside again. This time taken out of it by the centre fielder Michael Darragh Macaulay. It's a free to Kerry.
Yeah, that was a late tackle by Macaulay there. Colm Cooper went down to get the ball. Macaulay came at him and Cooper took him out of it just when he was going for the ball.
Quickly taken to James O'Donoghue, turning his man, giving his man a lot to do in the opening few minutes. James O'Donoghue with another point, and Kevin O'Brien already is in trouble with the Legion man.
Yeah, lovely point by James O'Donoghue there, and once again to set up by Colm Cooper. They're playing James O'Donoghue a lot and he's turning around and he just popped that ball over the bar. Lovely point by James O'Donoghue. Kerry 1 goal and 2 points. Dublin 3 points, and out in John Paul Clifford is out in Barrow Island on the coast of Western Australia, listening, and his sister Sarah is in Boston.
Free in the middle of the field.
Hard game, this is pacing very fast.
Very physical
lot of tackling, lot of pushing, lot of shoving. This is a very hard, tough physical game.
The watch tells us 10.5 minutes almost gone. Kerry 1-2, Dublin 3 points. That goal from James O'Donoghue, if you've missed it, what a clinical finish it was by the Legion man, and already he's got 1-1. He's a trump card so far. Diarmuid Connolly sprays it across to Paddy Andrews from St. Bridget's. Mark Griffin from St. Michael's Filemore is inch to inch and toe to toe with him. Andrews, the only change from the semi-final, coming in of course to the side, replacing Brian Cullen. This should be Tomás O'Shea's, and it is. Cutting it out nicely, the young Gaeltacht man. Tomás gives it to Maher. Maher to Shane Enright. Shane Enright busting the tackle to Paul Galvin, playing very deep. Paul looked up, saw nothing in front of him, went back. Anthony Maher putting a lot of pressure on O'Donoghue, but he does well, James O'Donoghue. Maybe couldn't look up and into space as Darren had the ball, lost it again. Paul Galvin on the run, and Paul Galvin was too lethargic in going to that one. He never thought there'd be a Dublin man behind him. Darren O'Sullivan keeps it in play well. Darren outside to Paul Galvin. James O'Donoghue calling for it, gets it from Paul Galvin, very near the sideline, gives it out to Donncha Walsh from Cremon. Cross it goes over there in the far side. Colm Cooper now with possession. The runner is Donncha Walsh. It's open up. A goal is on. Donncha Walsh! A goal for Kerry, and Donncha Walsh is the scorer.
Kerry are cutting Dublin wide open there, and Donncha Walsh, the man from Cremon. That was the end of that brilliant passing move. Great goal for Kerry, great move for Kerry. 3 or 4 or 5 the forwards involved. The ball went up to Donncha Walsh. He was all in his own. Cluxon came out, and Donncha Walsh with the right leg just eased the ball past him. 2 goals and 2 points to 3 points. At the moment, the Dublin defence look wide open.
But those 2 goals have come from precision passing from Colm Cooper. Again, he made that one. Was that touched to the ground by the Kerry man? The referee said it wasn't. Johnny Buckley trying to get it to the gooch. Again, a pinpoint pass from Colm Cooper.
Oh, perfect pass by Cooper. Spot on the bottle, as the man says. Dublin really shattered now.
Dublin are rocked. Paul Galvin to Diarmuid Connolly. Is there a kick in him? Kieran Kilkenny's on the bus coming through the middle. Still possession with Diarmuid Connolly. Connolly with the kick. Hi-oh! What a goal from Dublin's Paul Mannion. Wow, that's some response. Shane Enright didn't even know what was happening.
Oh, lovely goal by Dublin. Lovely passing by Kieran Kilkenny. Paul Mannion was just inside the square when the ball came in. He was allowed to be doing that. A lovely pass. He came in, and with the back of his right hand, a flick of the wrist, the ball was nestling in the back of the net. It gave Keely no chance whatsoever. 1-3 to 2-2, an absolutely cracking game. We're after 3 goals here, 12 minutes gone.
Absolutely, that was some finish by Mannion. Nice flick. Referee says an illegal hand pass from Shane Enright to Peter Crowley. It's a free into Dublin, and that goal now has changed the reflection of the game.
Well, the one thing that's coming out of the game now is both defences, Gary, are very shaky. The Kerry full back line at the moment is shaky, and the Dublin full back line is very shaky because they're giving a lot of room. But the one thing, it's a free-flowing game from end to end. Thanks be to God there's no swarming and no crowding whatsoever. And Jim Barton is over in Chicago. He immigrated from Kiel away back in the 50s listening to the game.
Cluxton is coming up to take the free. Paul Flynn is pushing Tomás O'Shea out of the way. Tomás O'Shea is putting him back, and Mark O'Shea has given an earful to Brendan Keeley over what I don't know.
Yeah, and Cluxton has scored 13 points for Dublin this year, one of their top scorers. Here he goes.
Here he comes, 2-2 to 1-3. A high one from Cluxton, and it has gone over the bar. Stephen Cluxton now the leading scorer, I think, for Dublin, on joint top with Bernard Brogan.
Yeah, just at 1 point in it, 8 points to 7, and as we said, a very open game. When you look down here in Croke Park and see the players in their normal positions, it makes a huge change from all that swarming and crowding we usually see. 7 points to 8, Kerry point up.
Well held by Donncha Walsh over in the far side, very near the sideline. Mark O'Shea takes a tackle, looking for it again in the middle. But Tomas does very well. How he got out of that is beyond belief. Low ball for James O'Donoghue, getting out in front of his man, soccer style, keeping it on his own, independently. O'Donoghue is buzzing inside that full forward line. Still James O'Donoghue over the far side. Kieran Kilkenny in front of the Cusack stand. Back to Paul Galvin now, who switched wings. Galvin and Johnny Cooper are in a tangle. Galvin has lost out to Johnny Cooper, and it's a free out to Dublin.
Yeah, the one big thing at the moment is Dublin are turning over a lot of ball from Kerry. They're getting a lot of ball. There's a bit of a scamazzle going on the far side of the field over there. I can see that James O'Donoghue is getting involved. He should stay away from him there. He's getting involved with Johnny Cooper. He should walk away from that.
Well, it is a free to Dublin, and the referee has brought the ball up because he did it in the first half, or the first couple of minutes ago, to Colm Cooper. Now he's done it against Kerry, and this ball is driven in long for Dublin, and Bernard Brogan and Mark O'Shea. Mark O'Shea gets a toe poke to it. High goes Crowley, dropping inside to Bernard Brogan. He turns it a sixpence, and Bernard Brogan has put it over the bar. Mighty point for Brogan. The sides are level here. It's Dublin 1-5, Kerry 2-2.
Yeah, and Dublin are trying out Kerry with the high ball into the square, and they tried it out there, and the ball went in, and it broke out, and Bernard Brogan was there. He went up, and Bernard Brogan got the ball and turned it from the break and turned around with the left leg and just popped the ball over the bar. The scores are level, 8 points each, or 1-5 to 2-2, whatever you wanted. 15 minutes gone.
Anthony Maher holds it in the middle of the field, loses out to Michael Darragh Macaulay though. That's a physical battle lost by Anthony Maher. Michael Darragh Macaulay, the runner, is his midfield partner. Cian O'Sullivan sandwiched there by Johnny Buckley and by Shane Enright, and a close-in free to Dublin.
Yeah, and the danger, Gary, is what we're afraid is that the strong Dublin players are kind of they're getting a lot of room from the Kerry defence, and they're able to barge their way through.
Well, this will be an easy tip over free by Bernard Brogan. Joseph O'Mahony is listing in Powell River in British Columbia in Canada. I thought he was in Studio 2 in Radio Kerry, but this is a different Joseph O'Mahony. This should be a free. Well, it is a free, but it should be a score to Bernard Brogan. Don't think you have any problems with that. And it's the lead for Dublin by 1 point with 16 and a half minutes gone.
Yeah, and as I said, the one thing, Dublin are turning over Kerry for a lot of ball, even there now for that point. Anthony Maher got the ball in the middle of the field, and he came down with it and was knocked out of his hand, and there's a sub coming on for Dublin straight away.
There is indeed, in the man that I called 10 minutes ago that was in trouble with James O'Donoghue is being called ashore, Kevin O'Brien, and it's number 22, Philip McMahon, going in from Ballymun Kickham's. O'Brien had his hands full on O'Donoghue, in fairness.
He is, yeah, and they're after switching the cornerbacks. Yeah. McMahon has gone on Darren O'Sullivan now, and his man has gone over on James O'Donoghue.
Kick out. Was there a foul on Johnny Buckley? There was a push on the back on the Crokes man, and it's Tomas O'Shea anxious to get on with this. Sides are Kerry trailing by a point, 2-2 to 1-6. The Gooch has got away from his man. Here comes Colm Cooper, drawing the Dublin defence on him with the right leg. Surely tight angle. Angles don't make a whole difference to this man. That's the genius that Colm Cooper is.
Lovely point by Colm Cooper there, because he just turned his man nicely, got the ball and went right through the defence. The defender was coming out on him there, but Cooper went through, and from just the 14 with his right leg just curled the ball beautifully over the bar. Lovely point. Scores are level again, 1-6 to 2-3.
Referee's having a chat with Rory O'Carroll and Declan O'Sullivan.
Yeah, it is a niggly game. It's very niggly. All the tension you could reach out and touch it. Declan wanted to stop the quick
kick out here. That's what he wanted to do. Rory O'Carroll wasn't going to let him do it, so Declan probably had a point, said, I've no problem putting my hands up.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Anyway, the referee now is going in having a chat with his linesmen. What I saw is that Declan had his hands up in the air. He just wanted to stand in front of it. O'Carroll didn't allow him to do that. Now we'll see what the umpire saw. Will there be any action made? With the stance and the run by the referee, there doesn't seem to be. Quick kick out again, only about 10 yards. That was too close, surely.
Too close, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yes. Cuxton has been penalised, and rightly so.
It'd be a hop ball, I'd say.
For a hop. For
a jump ball.
A close free to Johnny Cooper, and you certainly can't do that. So hot ball, throw ball by the referee.
Yeah, so that meant when you saw that happening there, that Cluxton hadn't the room to kick it out. So Kerry pressurised Dublin well there for that kick out.
Up goes Anthony Maher. Colm Cooper should get on, and he does. Back to Darren. How good is the left peg? It's James O'Donoghue in actual fact. And James O'Donoghue hits the post. Declan O'Sullivan. Donncha Walsh is going through. Penalty to Kerry. It is a penalty to Kerry. Donncha Walsh pulled to the ground.
Yes, Donncha Walsh definitely pulled to the ground. James O'Donoghue got the ball, turned around, went for the point. The ball hit the top of the post. It came down. Donncha Walsh was right in there, caught the ball, and Cluxton threw the two arms around him. That'll be a yellow card for Cluxton, no doubt at all about it, because you just can't. Yes, indeed, yellow card. The referee says he just threw the two arms around his man, around Donncha Walsh, and pulled him down. Penalty for Kerry. Cracking game.
Donncha Walsh pulled to the ground. Usually Brian Sheehan takes them, but he's on the bench.
James
how good is the Legion man, we see?
Well, I must say that I've seen him taking penalties for the Legion. I've seen him scoring them, but not for a while, because he hasn't played that much with us due to his alignment with Kerry. But here he goes,
penalty.
Left-legged kicker.
James O'Donoghue with the kick. 19 and a half minutes gone. Kerry 2-3, Dublin 1-6. Goal! And expertly tucked away by James O'Donoghue.
Yes, indeed, an absolutely rocket of a shot by the Legion man, right into the top of the net there. He came up, sent Cluxton to the left. He kicked to his right with the left leg and sent it high into the back of the net. It's 3-3 to 1-6. What a game we have here.
4 goals in 20 minutes, folks, in the All-Ireland semi-final. Whoever thought that we would have 4 goals in the first 20 minutes? We've had them. Dublin sub, Philly McMahon. The lead now is by 3 by Kerry. Paddy Andrews in midfield. The run is with Fionn Fitzgerald and Kieran Kilkenny. Bernard Brogan again getting ahead of Mark O'Shea. Still Bernard Brogan near the sideline. Cusick stand side. Dublin trying to work it in again. Dermot Connolly driving along one inside. Danger for Kerry. The hop is gone all the way over the bar. Well, that was a long effort and a fortuitous effort, and a point nevertheless from Dublin.
Well, once again I reiterate what I'm saying. Dublin are trying to high ball into the Kerry full back line, and once again there they were found wanting, because none of the defenders went for it. They stayed back, the ball hopped, went over the bar there, and that's uncertainty by the Kerry defence. Is there just at 2 points in it? 1-7 to 3-3.
My apologies, it wasn't Dermot Connolly, it was Philip McMahon. I got my 12s and 22s mixed up, so it's a find by the substitute. Here comes Dublin again. Jack McCaffrey, a pulsating opening half here in the All-Ireland semi-final. A place in the final against Mayo up for grabs. Going through, breaking the tackle. Paddy Andrews, Cian O'Sullivan. There could be more goals. Oh, Cian O'Sullivan has put an absolute screamer over the bar, the midfielder.
Oh, great run by Cian O'Sullivan. But Gary, it is very worrying the way Dublin are absolutely careering through the Kerry defence. Every time they come through, they just seem to be able to just waltz past the Kerry defence all the time there.
3-3 to 1-8. That's 12 to 11 in favour of Kerry. 21 minutes and 42 seconds gone. Keeley out to the middle. Anthony Maher breaks it down to his midfield partner Johnny Buckley. To Paul Galvin, yet to score. The Finuke man sells a nice little dummy in his own half-back line. Left-footed for Declan, he has scored. Now he's taken on Ger Brennan. Still Declan O'Sullivan dipping that shoulder. Either good in the right or the left. Gives it to Darren O'Sullivan. Declan hits the deck. Darren with a cross-diagonal ball. Long ball inside for Colm Cooper. Colm Cooper at the tightest of angles. Wow, that's some kick by Colm Cooper. That's his second of the afternoon.
Yeah, and the one thing about it is now that Colm Cooper's gone in around the goal. He's not staying out around centre forward. And Darren O'Sullivan gave a lovely diagonal ball. It was a beautiful diagonal ball right across the front of the square, over in front of Hill 16 corner, and Cooper got it, turn around, left leg over the bar. 3-4 to 1-8, 13 points 11. Kerry 2 points up.
Another shot kick out again. Cluxton, Declan O'Sullivan shoulders Rory O'Carroll fairly, says the referee. Dublin under pressure. Johnny Cooper in front of the Cusick stand. Free out, says the referee. By God, there's some knocks in this game.
There is indeed. Referee doing a good job, I must say. I wouldn't criticise him for anything that's happening so far, yes. But it's a very close game, a very tough game. There's a Dublin man down injured now after that knock. It is his right ankle, I said, is giving a bit of trouble. There's Johnny Cooper, his right ankle, yeah.
Play on, says the referee. It's Rory O'Carroll, 23 gone. Kerry lead by 2, 3-4 to 1-8. Action pass first half. Is the Lone Rangers man, Peter Crowley. Peter Crowley looking up, clear country in front of him, and pulled to the ground by Paul Flynn, and that could be a yellow for Flynn.
Yeah, it could be a good play by Cooper there. It won't be a yellow, Gary, just a big and quick free by Kerry.
Into Donncha Walsh. Great pass by Galvin. Donica Walsh going through a whole blue sea of jerseys. Did well to hold on to it. Back to Colm Cooper. Outside to Darren. Paul Galvin loose. Paul Galvin steadying himself. Still Galvin. Outside to Declan. He'll have a cut. He's full of confidence. Declan O'Sullivan right into the hands though of Stephen Cluxton.
Kerry attacked and very composed football. They're holding the ball, and of course Dublin went giving Kerry plenty of room, and if you give Kerry plenty of room they will punish you. They have proved that 3-4 to 1-8. 13 points 11. There's exactly 24 minutes gone in a cracking first half.
Well, Johnny Cooper has recovered from that leg injury. That's good news from a Dublin's point of view. And Paddy Andrews has gone extremely deep. This ball floated into the corner here. Two players go up for it. Shane Enright has been, well, I thought harshly enough now penalised by the referee there for that one.
Yeah, I thought harshly enough too, Gary. I thought he went for the ball and was a quite entitled out and broke it down and went out over the line, but the referee gives the free.
Paul Mannion outside again for Kieran Kilkenny. Into the middle of the field it goes. This is Cian O'Sullivan. Sloppy enough pass to his midfield partner Michael Darren McCauley. Facing him is Johnny Buckley, trying to get inside Buckley. Buckley swings off him. Referee says play on. Michael Darren McCauley has lost it in the tackle. That's good defending by Kerry. Back there is that's looking like Fionn Fitzgerald. It is back to Brendan Keeley, and Keeley gives it out to this side of the field to Shane Enright. Still not cleared yet. Anthony Maher in the left half-back position to Galvin, holds it well. On the burst is Tomás O'Shea. He's still showing the appetite of an 18-year-old, and the referee all the way inside, a long way inside, Weeshy has given a free to Kerry for an off the ball.
He wasn't. Colm Cooper was being held off the ball there. Takes the quick free into James O'Donoghue. James O'Donoghue settling with the left leg.
Turning again, Donoghue. He's found space. Donoghue over the bar. Oh, this man is absolutely lifting. James O'Donoghue, 2 goals and 2 points to date.
Great point by James O'Donoghue there, wonderful point by him there, lovely quick free by Colm Cooper into James O'Donoghue. They're definitely picking out Donoghue, tell him take on his man, and that's what he's doing. Turned around, got the ball, he was being pulled and he was dragged, might have gone a little bit too far with it, but just got the left leg to it, over the bar. 3-5 to 1-8, 1 goal in it.
Kerry lead by 3, 25 minutes gone here in Croke Park as the sun tries to break out here. This is Diarmuid Connolly from St Vincent's. Long ball, Mark O'Shea and Brogan under it. Should be the goalies. He comes out, Brendan Keeley playing as a sweeper. Good work by the Kilcummin man. Gives it outside to Fionn Fitzgerald. Composed to Mark Griffin. Griffin has settled now, the St Michael's Filemore man. Backing into Fionn Fitzgerald. Oh, dangerous. Tomás holds on to it. Good work by Tomás. Here's Galvin. Involved in an awful lot, Galvin. Pop pass to Buckley. Johnny Buckley takes the shoulder with the green shoes. Inside to Darren from Glenbeigh Glencar, working his way in. Darren O'Sullivan playing it outside to Donica Walsh, the man who already has got 1 goal, spraying it outside to Buckley. Kerry a little bit slack. Paul Galvin, the runner is good. You don't leave this man run. With the right leg this time, Colm Cooper. Oh, he's missed it. Left and wide, but again another good build-up by Kerry.
Yeah, but a good build-up by Kerry. Very composed play by Kerry. And I repeat, they're getting loads and loads of room. And when you give a Kerry footballer room, he'll definitely punish you. And Kerry are definitely punishing Dublin. 3-5 to 1-8. Kerry would be delighted with the way things are going, because what they wanted was to stay with Dublin until half-time at least anyway, and then see what happened after that. And that's exactly what they're after doing. They're staying with Dublin, and the longer the Dublin are being held, the more questions they'll be asking themselves.
Griffin fouled his man. The free has gone over the head of Paul Mannion and Shane Enright. Good work by Enright, and Cian O'Neill is out on a mission, and he has some instructions to Paul Galvin.
Yeah, and the longer Kerry are going to stay ahead of Dublin, and the longer they're going to stay with him, their chances of winning are improving greatly, because there's going to be a long second half there. But those goals in the first half by Kerry, 3-5, that's great scoring in any man's language. 3-5 to 1-8.
Keeley, Tomás wants it. Oh, jeez, he did well to hold on to that one, Tomás O'Shea. That was a high kick out by Keeley. Tomás won't like him for it. But away goes Kerry. Away goes Mark O'Shea. He's released from his defensive abilities. High one to Gooch, burying a little bit. In fact, it was Darren O'Sullivan. Darren O'Sullivan, yeah, he threw that ball. Oh, it's a free in.
No, Gary, it's a free in because the Kerry man had the ball, and you cannot pull the ball out of a man's hands. The ball must be loose.
Before that, I thought that he was burying his way in, Darren O'Sullivan.
Yes, yeah, maybe so, yeah.
Anyway, it's a free to Kerry. We won't go against it, and it's Colm Cooper 3-5 to Kerry, 1-8 to Dublin, 28 minutes gone in a packed Croke Park. Colm Cooper shooting into Hill 16. To date he's got 2 from play. Well, all the singing in the world, they don't think to put this man off. Colm Cooper with the kick, it's hit the upright, very uncharacteristic like. Darren O'Sullivan has it, still Darren O'Sullivan giving it out to Declan, back again to Donncha Walsh. Colm Cooper calling for it, Donncha Walsh going for the kick, and that, to put it mildly, is very wide.
Oh, that's as wide as the proverbial gate, but there were 2 bad misses now by Colm Cooper. The last 2 kicks he win for the goal, he'll be disappointed with that himself.
Quick kick out, driven long this time, all the way to Paddy Andrews. Kerry got a little bit ragged now. This is Michael Darragh Macaulay. Low ball inside, into Brogan again. He'll dip the shoulder and take on Mark O'Shea. Still Brogan. Brogan with tight angle right across the face of the goal, and that's a bad wide for Brogan.
Yeah, he was at his wrong side. Definitely it wasn't a wide point and a man. He kicked with his right leg. He came right across to this side, dipped his shoulder, got inside, but really he was at a complete angle.
Anthony Maher getting the quick out from Brendan Keeley. It's a day of quick kick outs by both goalkeepers.
It is indeed, Gary, because the players moving for maintain very quick. Very, very open game. The most open game we've seen for a long time.
Donncha Walsh playing a great game as the link man. Poor pass by Shane Enright. That's why he was above in the forwards. How he found himself up there, I don't know, but a very poor pass. He's given it back to Dublin. And Dublin have it again now with 29.5 minutes gone. It's Diarmuid Connolly. Crossed. Good crossfield pass to Paul Flynn. Flynn gives it to Kieran Kilkenny. He hasn't scored yet. He has now. Kieran Kilkenny getting his first score of the afternoon for Dublin.
Yeah, and a lot of gaps opening up there in the Kerry defence, Gary. You said there Kerry were looking ragged, and you were right, because when Dublin come forward, Kerry looking that little bit ragged, but at the other end you could see another goal coming for Kerry, because the Dublin defence really, they're giving loads of space to Kerry, and you could see another goal coming. It's just 2 points in it, a cracking game of football. It's fascinating really. 3-5 to 1-9.
Keeley outside. Oh, well held by Maher. Brilliantly held by the Dwar man, and wins his free independently, getting it there ahead of Michael Darragh Macaulay. On midfield is Paul Galvin to take it. Plenty of able runners. James O'Donoghue again. Not a great pass though from Paul Galvin. That was a 50-50 pass. It should be Donncha Walsh's. He's all on his own inside the 45-yard line, over in front of the Cusack stand. A hand pass to Darren O'Sullivan, maybe one of the quietest Kerry players so far, but still it wouldn't be taken off Darren O'Sullivan in the month of Sundays. Lovely little triangular pass between Tomas, James O'Donoghue and Darren O'Sullivan. O'Donoghue gives it back to Darren holding possession outside to Fionn Fitzgerald. Anthony Maher calling for it in the middle. Johnny Buckley to his left. Maher to Galvin just inside the 45. Poor pass from Galvin, and that was a push by Donncha Walsh. Paul Galvin has a good few balls driven his
fairway. Yeah, he has, Gary. He's looking a bit listless, looking a little bit tired in himself. That's what he is, and that was a very lazy pass there by Paul Galvin.
Paul Flynn wins it on this side of the field. 4 minutes to go of normal time. It's a 2-point lead for Kerry. Kieran Kilkenny is leaving it to the Dublin man. That's Ger Brennan. High tackle and a heavy tackle by Anthony Maher, and a pull to the ground, and the referee reaches for his notebook to Anthony
that'll be a yellow card for Anthony Maher, because the Dublin man has gone through there, and Anthony Maher just came up and just caught him around the shoulders and pulled him down there, and Cluxon is going to, he's not coming up to take this here, but it was a very...
Bernard Brogan, it's it.
Yeah, Bernard Brogan is going to take it.
This to put one between them again, and he's about 25 yards in from the Cusack stand side. Brogan to take this one. Not the greatest hardest kicks in the world. Here comes Brogan. Certainly has the height in it, doesn't have the distance, and he doesn't have the accuracy either. That's a poor kick from Bernard Brogan.
Very poor effort by Brogan, really. He gave it no chance at all whatsoever, kicking into the Canal goal and pulled it wide on his own side. That was a poor kick by him there. And Brendan Keeley again. The kick-outs are vital by both sides in this game. It's 3-5 to 1-9, 12 points to 14. Kerry leading, 32 minutes gone.
Well, the way these kick-outs are going, I think if a goalkeeper makes any of the slightest mistakes, it could end up in the back of the net. And we hope it's not Keeley. He drives it long this time. Anthony Maher goes high, breaks it down. Donncha Walsh was under it. Linesman decides it's got off a Dublin man, and it's a line ball the far side to Tomas O'Shea.
Yeah, Anthony Maher done very well out of the long kick-outs there. Either he's winning them or else they're being broken away from him, but he's done very well, Anthony Maher.
Tomas to take this one. Drives it about 15 yards. Into space to the Gooch. Oh, lovely basketball style down to Galvin. Paul Galvin, Darren O'Sullivan calling for it. Still Darren O'Sullivan gives it out to Colm Cooper. Colm Cooper in front of the Hogan stand. 3 of them around him. That draws the loose man. The loose man is Galvin. Still Paul Galvin giving it out to Donncha Walsh. He has played a job of linkman expertly in this first half. Donncha Walsh involved in everything, and they're getting a great ball to Tomas O'Shea, trying to take on Michael Darragh Macaulay. Still Tomas, tight enough angle from the Kerry man, gives it to James O'Donoghue. James O'Donoghue trying to wriggle his way out of that corner flag, and he does. Anthony Maher, 2 hands in the middle of the field calling for it. Can Declan O'Sullivan spot him? He plays it outside. It's good keep possession by Kerry. That's very good football. Fionn Fitzgerald now to Peter Crowley. Peter Crowley 60 yards out for goal to Galvin, pushing it back definitely on Paul Galvin. Referee says play on. It's Peter Crowley outside to Anthony Maher. Is there an end product? 1.5 minutes of normal time. This is Declan O'Sullivan. Oh, there was a Kerry man. I thought tripped inside there. Darren Sullivan. Referee didn't see it like that. Wide ball, so he says.
Yeah, the referee didn't spot it, Gary. The 2 umpires were standing behind. It happened away off the ball there. Darren O'Sullivan turns around and he appeals to the 2 umpires. Whether it was deliberate or accident, I don't know, because it was completely off the ball. But Darren O'Sullivan went down there and broke up the Kerry attack that had been building up nicely.
Luxton again, pinpoint accuracy. Michael Darragh Macaulay loses it. Colm Cooper has it back. It's opened up again. That's a free for Kerry and Colm Cooper, and he should take this time in this one, Wishy, and wear the clock down.
Yeah, and he is going taking his time, but still in all, Colm Cooper was looking for a quick free there, because if there was a man gone inside, he'd have taken it, and maybe we might have another goal there. But that was a bad mistake by the Dublin man there from the quick kick out. But Kerry playing very, very controlled
big
football.
Improvement from the Cavan game.
No, huge improvement altogether, Gary. And they're away fresher looking, and they're more composed looking, and they're happier looking. 34 minutes gone, 1-9-3-5. Johnny Buckley, you'd expect him now to put this over the bar. Very, very easy kickable free.
First free for Johnny Buckley. That's an absolutely diabolical finish from Johnny Buckley. The nerves got to him in that one.
Oh, definitely the nerves got to him there, because he never connected at all. Pulled the ball light or down along the ground. Very poor kick by Johnny Buckley there. He'd be bitterly disappointed with that.
1 minute of additional time to be played here. It's a 2-point lead for Kerry, and it is Cian O'Sullivan in the far side, just inside his own 45, giving it to Johnny Cooper, releasing Gerard Brennan. Is there another score in Dublin? Diarmuid Connolly, Tomas O'Shea, both getting for it first. Connolly has it, losing possession. Getting it back is Kieran Kilkenny. We want to keep an eye on Paul Mannion. He's very loose around the square. High, dangerous ball, and that's gone left and wide as well. And that's poor finishing from Dublin's point of view.
Yeah, because I think I can see now there's a change coming over the Dublin attack. They're not as composed as what they were. They're not as sure of themselves, because they're behind. They're gone in at half time, 2 points down. They didn't certainly expect that, and there's a bit of nervousness in their attack. And those 2 last kicks there, one by Brogan and one by Kilkenny, they were 2 very bad kicks, 2 very nervous type of kicks.
Well, we'll have no more, because 36 minutes have been played in Croke Park, and the Kerry fans stand to attention to their team. It's been a very good 36 minutes for Kerry, and they lead 3-5 to 1-9 Rishi at half time.
Yeah, well, Kerry will go in very, very happy. Eamon Fitzmaurice will be delighted with that display in the first half there. Kerry really, with those goals in the first half, that made all the difference. They control a lot of parts of the game. Dublin looked at their best when they attacked the Kerry defence. The Dublin attack looked a little bit demoralised. They became very, very ragged there at the end.
We are at the halfway point in the second of this year's All-Ireland football semi-finals. Kerry leading by 2 points, 3 goals and 5 points to 1 goal and 9 points. Pat Spillane, what have you thought of your fellow countrymen so far?
Well, I tell you this, Michael, that 35 minutes or 37 minutes have redeemed my faith in Gaelic football, because it's been an outstanding exhibition of what the game of Gaelic football is about. This was a game, Gaelic football, that was hijacked for the last 10 years by defensive-minded, negative coaches, where it was all about stopping the opposition by fair or foul means. Last Sunday we saw with James Horton, and today we see with the 2 teams here, with Jim Gavin's trained team and Eamon Fitzmaurice's trained team. You have 2 teams here where it's all about a footballing philosophy, where it's about attacking, it's about trying to outscore the opposition. It's not about systems, it's not about negativity. The range of kick passing, just a useless statistic. Dublin kick passed the ball 28 times in that first half. Kerry kick passed the ball 30 times. Do you know what? That's more than the number of kick passes that Tyrone had in the entire game last Sunday. They kicked 26 kick passes last Sunday. So this was a lovely exhibition. Credit to everyone involved, the referee. It's a lovely, high-scoring, free-flowing football. This is what players want to play, Michael. This is what spectators want to come to see. So I compliment them all. And just to look at the Gooch and his vision, and to look at some of the kick passing from Kerry, it was brilliant stuff, Michael.
It's relentless kind of stuff, Colin O'Rourke, is the only way you could describe it.
Yeah, sometimes you have close matches which are exciting and the quality may not be particularly good. In this case, the quality is very, very high and it's a close, competitive and very sporting game. And in fairness, the referee is doing his best to keep the thing moving. Yeah. The quality of foot passing by Kerry in the first 20 minutes was as good as I have ever seen before. And their movement off the ball and their inside forward play. Brilliant play by the Gooch, James O'Donoghue, Tomás O'Shea, who's the oldest player on the field. Brilliant in that first half. But I think that Dublin will be happy enough. They've been rocked by 3 hammer blows, and it's a bit like getting one from Joe Frazier on Muhammad Ali. They've staggered, but they're knocked down, and I think they're going to come back in the second half.
It is, Joe Bradley, credit to them that they are still right in this game, considering those goals that Kerry have got, scoring into the hill as well. Let's have a look at the first of them.
Yeah, well, the Dubs are living and dying on this man against man strategy, you know, and they're going to stick with that. And so for the first time in many years, we're able to see Cooper at his best. I mean, he's been like a sort of an expert swordsman toying with a feisty novice in Ger Brennan. I mean, it's been a terrific display, wonderful vision, passing, two-footed. I mean, he has really been fantastic. And of course, this is the problem. This is the problem with the way the Dubs play, is that they do let you play. So, I mean, Jim Gavin is going to live and die by this strategy. The difference between the teams thus far is that Dublin, for all their extra athleticism and their pace, are creating goal-scoring chances and not taking them.
Yes.
Kerry are creating goal chances and are lethal. And another thing that they've clearly been doing behind closed doors over the last 6 weeks is they've been working on their forward movement. Their forward movement has been exemplary. Diagonal runs, lateral runs, inch-perfect passes. I mean, they really have cut Dublin to pieces. And I have to say now, it's been an absolute privilege to be here to watch it.
And just to prove, Pat, that goal just wasn't something out of the blue, they did it again.
Yeah, again, the key in all of this is the magic of Gooch and his vision. Just watch, I mean, and we saw it earlier on, just a lovely quick pass into Donegal Walsh. And Donegal Walsh, I mean, has been criticised in Kerry for not scoring enough. He scored 3 points the last day against Cavan, and that is as good a finish as you'll get against one of the best goalkeepers of all time. But look, it's just, you pay the admission fee alone just to watch the magic and the touches of class and the sheer vision and the sheer brilliance of Gooch.
That vision,
the composure,
Dublin,
you know.
Dublin seem to be treating Gooch like Cowboy Joe and hoping the posse will cut him off at the pass. But give him the ball with any type of space and he's going to pick out a man.
The hill was very quiet for a while after those goals were scored, I can tell you. Time for us to pause again for a little while here at Croke Park. Join us for the second half of Dublin versus Kerry after this break. Semi-final, Kerry leading Dublin 3 goals and 5 points to 1 goal and 9 points. We always suspected, Colin O'Rourke, that there would be goals in a game like this. We didn't think there'd be so many after about 20 minutes. We saw Kerry's second goal just before the break. Less than a minute later, 57 seconds in actual fact, the ball was in the Kerry net.
Yeah, well, at that stage, I think Kerry had moved 5 points up, so Dublin needed a response, and a response came very, very quickly. Fantastic ball across the field by Paul Flynn to Diarmuid McConnelly, who hasn't been in the game much. Tomás O'Shea has done a real job on him, and he goes for a point with his left foot, and Paul Mannion, like all good corner forwards, was waiting for the ball to drop short and gets his fist in it. Kerry marker, not on him, not as close as he should have been. Connolly had kicked a lovely point with his left foot before this at the start of the game, and probably assumed that he'd do the same again. With a good corner forward, Mannion has been brilliant all year, and again he's a goal scorer.
Actually, what it highlights is the flaw in Kerry's play that was also shown the second half against Cork in the Munster final, that when the ball was kicked in high, this Kerry full back line is not commanding under high ball. But credit to Dublin in that half, they showed great character. In the space of 4 minutes, Michael, they came from 5 points down to be a point ahead. They scored 1-4 without reply.
There was another goal for Kerry, this one from the penalty spot.
It's just the absolute precision.
And I presume this was a penalty.
Oh, it's definitely a penalty. But it's the absolute precision of Kerry, you know, and it's their composure, precision, coolness against the sort of relentless helter-skelter running game of Dublin. And, you know, the question is now whether or not Dublin will be able to wear them down. The problem being that Cooper and his colleagues are finding lots of space in that Dublin defence, and they're absolutely lethal. So the question is whether or not Kerry can avoid being hemmed in, because there were times in the first half we were looking at it and you could see that Dublin were pushing Kerry back. Kerry were finding it very difficult to get out. But once they do get out and move it over the top of the Dublin defence, they're up and running. I mean, Donoghu's deadly.
I disagree about that being a definite penalty. As far as I'm concerned, Donegal was charged with the ball initially, straight into Cluxton.
How could he charge in one step?
Cluxton then hauled him down and gave away the penalty. But the initial movement by Walsh,
like the big
charge.
I don't think it was. But the big question mark now, Michael, is in the second half. Can Kerry replicate the first half performance in the second half? Because we saw in the Munster final there were 7 points. It was one.
Can they sustain the pace?
It was one. Can they sustain the pace? There were 7 points up against Cork and lost the second half on the score of 11-6 against Cavan the last day, comfortably ahead at half time. Lost the second half against Cavan 7-5. So, like Joe says, can they sustain the pace for another?
Sustain the pace, because the thing about that first half is they were forcing the pace. They were taking quick frees. They looked like the team that had the pace and wanted to exploit it.
I think the game was 100 miles an hour for the first 20 minutes. I think there was a noticeable drop in pace for the last 10 or 15 minutes of the half, because I don't think anybody can keep up the pace. I think we also have to remember now, Dublin are going to look for the 5th Cavalry in the subs, and they'll bring on Bastick and McManaman and Dean Rock and players like this. Now, of course, Kerry have Brian Sheehan and Dennis Moran or David Moran and Owen Brosnan. They could bring those on, but I think the balance of advantage in subs is on the Dublin side. Yeah. The big imponderance for me is when Kerry bring on Donaghy, and where did they put him?
Yes.
And I think that if Kerry are doing their homework right and they see what happened in the first half, they'll put him in there on the edge of the square and put
I'm
in
not so sure, Colin, why?
I know that Kerry have had a lot of value from the low, quick ball inside, but in the second half of the Munster final and against Cavan, that whole game dried up.
So you suggesting that what they should do is change tack for the second half?
I want an alternative type of thing. This is not going to work all the time.
Why would you, in circumstances where Kerry are playing with such economy up front, their movement is brilliant. Every time they get the ball, they're threatening a goal. Why would you change tactics at this point in time?
Because by bringing on
Kieran, the problem with Kieran is that Kieran's a roadblock in front of the goals.
When you bring on
he's
Kieran,
great if he's flicking down.
When you bring on Kieran Donaghy, it means your game plan is completely altered. Kerry's game plan in that first half was like the first half against Cork, where quick ball, angles of rolling brilliant, great variety in the attack and great support play. If Donaghy is brought in, you know what, a blind man could play in the full back line because he knows the ball is going to come in high under Donaghy. The unfortunate thing about Donaghy, as we saw against Cavan, he's lost a bit of pace and his first touch is poor. So I'll stick with the winning formula for as long as possible.
Joe, let's come back to Dublin, because you were making the point before the match about Dublin's creating chances but not taking them.
Squandering. Squanderlust.
And there was an example of it here again. They looked like they could score at will, and yet they have one goal, but...
Well, I said beforehand, this is a big game, and you can't be wasting chances like this. Michael Darragh McCauley's clean through. He drops his head and he puts it in the net, or he knocks it across to the other side of the square. It's an easy goal. I mean, here again, this has got to go in the net. Let me put it to you this way, Michael.
Oh, that was close.
If that's Colin Cooper, no, close is no good. If that's Colin Cooper or James O'Donoghue, the ball is in the net. And that's the difference at this level. So against lesser teams, Dublin can overwhelm them, and even though they're missing 80% of their goal chances, they can still win the game. They can't do it at this higher level.
Yeah, but
it's a huge sort of test for them in the second half.
For Dublin, the problem is not scoring. Dublin have scored a goal in 9 points, which is a great score in any game. The problem for Dublin is their defence. It's they're leaking goals, and they all have been showing throughout the championship. A big problem in the Dublin defence, and it hasn't been solved. And I think that Dublin should be taken off Ger Brennan. If I want to say what's going to be happening, I think he's in big trouble there in the Dublin defence. I think they took off the wrong man.
Both teams back. Attendance of 81,553 here today, by the way. Now, after today's semi-final, watch out for our great competition here on the programme. A chance for you to win a brand new car.
Second half, and Cian O'Sullivan has gone to centre back to mark Colin Cooper, which means that Ger Brennan has been taken off the Dublin team for the second half. The last time Kerry scored 3 goals against Dublin in a championship match was the 1970.
Just underway, there's a change by Dublin. Dennis Bastick is in. I think it's Ger Brennan that's gone, and Cian O'Sullivan has gone up into the back into the half-back line. A high ball driven inside, gathered by Rory O'Carroll. Definitely Dennis Bastick is into the middle of the field.
Brennan was on a yellow card too, you see, Gary. Mac and Colin Cooper, and they weren't going to take any chances with him.
Right, all to play for. Long high ball into the Kerry edge of the square. Mark O'Shea trying to break it out to himself. Dangerous play by Kerry. Good pull by Mark O'Shea. Out into the middle of the field again it goes. Maherty's on a yellow. He'll have to be careful. Outside now to Paddy Andrews. No change by Kerry. Paddy Andrews driving it long inside. Should be cut out by Johnny Buckley. Well, if you were both managers, I suppose first of all, Kerry, if you were Eamon Fitzmaurice, what would your words be?
The words would be continue on playing the same way you were in the first half. Don't change anything, and they wouldn't change anything. That was an elbow. There's no doubt at all about it. It was a high elbow by Eamon Connolly. There's right. He's got a yellow card for that. At least a yellow card. But if Eamon Fitzmaurice, he'd say continue on the very same, keep playing and keep moving up and keep pressurising Cluxon's kick-outs. That's the main word that he'd have for them.
Yeah, that should be yellow card, I would think, to Dermot Connolly for a very high frontal charge. It is on Mark Griffin, and the St. Michael's File Moorman is down, lying prostrate, getting a little bit of medical attention. But I think a lot of us have discussed it here at half-time, we see then the final 10 or 12 minutes have carried the legs. That's the worry.
Well, the first man that's going to come in is going to be Kieran Donaghy, and he could come in full forward, centre forward. He could even come in midfield. He can come in. Kieran Donaghy is going to play a huge part before this game is finished. There's no doubt at all about it in my mind. He's going to be the first man that's going to come in.
Tomas O'Shea drives it for Colm Cooper, gathers it in the middle of the field ahead of his man. Good turn by the Gooch. Colm looks up, they're surrounding him to Johnny Buckley. Buckley trying to make the tackle outside to Declan O'Sullivan. Tight angle for the Drummond man. Declan with the kick, and Declan O'Sullivan has put it over the bar. No, he hasn't. He's put it left and wide. The umpires had a discussion. Is it for Hawkeye? It's not.
No, it is not indeed, Gary. The umpires are definite about that nice passing movement there, started by Colm Cooper into Declan O'Sullivan. He was at a good bit of an angle, really, turned around with the left leg just outside the 14 and pulled it across the goal and sent it wide. But I think, is he calling for Hawkeye?
No, he's not. No, he's not. It's a yellow card again being showed to Johnny Cooper.
That's right.
For something off the ball to Darren O'Sullivan. So, will there be early changes by Kerry? There's 3 or 4 that need to up it a little bit, need to up it big time. Anthony Maher gathers the kick out. The runner with him is Crowley. Maher is good enough to score himself. Tight angle, Darren Sullivan, a chance. Oh, he lost it, but he has it back. Darren Sullivan outside again to Crowley. Paul Galvin, first score of the game, surely from Paul Galvin. That's over the bar from the Finuke man, and Paul Galvin gets his name on the scoreboard.
Darren O'Sullivan, James O'Donoghue, Paul Galvin, nice move there, all started by Anthony Maher, and I was just saying about the kick out, and they covered that kick out, and Cluxon had to kick it out straight out to Anthony Maher, and here goes the long one again. When the ball goes out long in the middle of the field, Kerry are winning it. The Cluxon kick outs are vital.
Tomas O'Shea winning that one now, finding Anthony Maher again in the middle of the field. Anthony looks up, sprays it into the corner to Declan, nudged by Declan. Most definitely a free out, a push in the back by Rory Carroll. I don't think he can complain.
No, little Seamus Darby push or a throw back to 1982 when Darby pushed Tommy Doyle, and he gave him that little tip there, and that was a lovely point there earlier on by Paul Galvin, and it's 1-9 to 3-6.
Paul Flynn drives it long. Mark O'Shea battling, Mark Griffin battling, and Mark Griffin wins it. Well done by the St. Michael's File Moorman. Had it, lost it again, has it again. With him is Kieran Kilkenny, very near the sideline over there. The linesman's flag is up, and he says it's a Kerry ball, and the Dublin fans are gone mental at the far side.
Yeah, and I can see a little kind of a drawback by the Dublin forwards. Things are not going well for them because they find themselves behind and the pressure is on them now. We'll see how they'll respond to that. Kerry's settling down even more and more.
Shane Enright losing the ball in the tackle. Enright is not having a great day.
No, he's finding it difficult, Gary. The physicality is getting to him a little bit. Unusual for an Kerry man.
Here's Dermot Connolly. The scoreboard says Kerry lead by 3-6 to 1-9. Now calling for it is James McCarthy. Not getting it yet though, it's all Dublin at the wall. This is the substitute Dennis Bastick from all of 50 yards out. Should be Keeley's, well held by the Kilcummin man. He's improved by game per game, Brendan Keeley.
That ball by Bastick in there now was typified what's happening. As I said, Dublin are getting a little bit frustrated, and Bastick just turned around and lashed that ball into nowhere.
Look who's corner back, James O'Donoghue, trying to work the ball out of defence. Now here comes Shane Enright again over there in the far side, losing possession, but Donncha Walsh again covering great ground for Kerry. Referee in close proximity says play on. Tomas O'Shea, no, safe hand pass. 2 off the ground by Peter Crowley.
To see what wouldn't want to happen, Kerry, now happening in their second half of their matches, falling back in defence and slowing up the game. They wouldn't want to fall into that out trade now that has been happening them. We'll watch carefully.
Let's hope this is not a costly pick up off the ground. Bernard Brogan plays it outside to Kieran Kilkenny, the Castle knockman, gives it into the middle. Anthony Maher puts his body on the line. Kilkenny had it and left it after him. Paul Galvin put the tackle. Bernard Brogan with the kick, and Bernard Brogan with the point. That's the third point from play from Bernard Brogan.
Yeah, that's a nice point by Brogan there. There's no doubt he was said he's third from play, and also one off of a free. There's 2 points in it again there. We wouldn't want to see Kerry now falling into that slumber that happened them against Cavan and happened them against Cork. That's what we'd be watching for.
Fionn Fitzgerald guarding that ball for dear life, but is isolated and needs help. Give it back to Keeley. That's the safe one. Broken outside him.
They're pushing up basketball like in Kerry now, pressurising them inside their own 14.
Here comes Mark O'Shea. Nobody in the half-hour line coming towards him. Mark has to hold possession, gives it to the older brother Tomas, and away goes Tomas. We remember the late great Paddy here. If he was here today, wouldn't he be enjoying it? James O'Donoghue was fouled, says the referee, by Philly McMahon, and a close-in free to Kerry.
Yeah, and James O'Donoghue says he's fouling me all day. The ref is fouling me all day, and he definitely was holding the Legion man there, and there's going to be Colm Cooper with the left-legged free. This is very, very scoreable for him. The linesman goes out and says something to the referee, speaks to him.
And the ball is being brought in further by Cormac Riley. Again, not sure what it's for, but we'll take it.
Verbals, I'd say, Gary. Verbals to the linesman. Somebody said something to the linesman.
You can hear the crowd. Now scoreable for Colm Cooper. Kerry lead by 2. It's 15-13. It's 3-6 to 110. The umpire having a word with the referee. In fairness to Cormac Riley and his officials, they've been well on top today in every quarter.
This is going to be a yellow card for another Dublin defender here, Gary.
That's Philly McMahon.
Yeah.
That's the number 22, Philly McMahon. So plenty of yellows. In the meantime, Colm Cooper has had a chance to take a breather. This to put 3 between them again. 42 minutes gone. 3-6 to 110. Can we say 3-7 to 110? Colm Cooper, do not miss those ones. Colm Cooper with another point. That's his third of the afternoon.
And after that yellow and the way the ball was brought in there, a bit of frustration. Another sub coming on for Dublin there. Dublin are definitely getting frustrated now because they're bringing in Dean Rock after coming in.
This is a danger man for me, Dean Rock. He's lethal in front of goal if he gets any chance. Kieran Kilkenny has been taken off. That's a good day's work by Fionn Fitzgerald. Colm Cooper grabs the kick out with venom and ferocity. Gives it to Johnny Buckley. Gives it to Darren Sullivan. We haven't seen much of scoring from Darren. Gives it to Declan. Declan absolutely pulled by Johnny Cooper. The swarm game, how are you? Donncha Walsh to Darren Sullivan. Darren Sullivan still going through. Paul Galvin looking for point number 2. Tight angle. Paul Galvin with a great score. Paul Galvin has upped his rate. He's done more in the first 5 minutes of the second half than the whole of the first half.
Great point by Paul Galvin at the end of that lovely pass and move. Great work by Dan O'Sullivan. The Kerry tails are up now, and Dublin were really, really shattered. Now we'll see what the City boys are made of. It's 110 to 3-8, 17 points to 13, and there's no doubt by the Dublin demeanour they are shattered, and Cluxton is forced to kick the ball away out the field, and he doesn't like doing that.
He doesn't, but it's well won in the middle of the field.
If Kerry don't concede goals, they could win the game very easily, Gary.
This comes Connolly, who's won this one. Now Donncha Walsh going back. That was a pull in the jersey. The referee given the advantage. Paddy Andrews of St. Bridget's. Fionn Fitzgerald's now marking him. The danger man to me is this guy. It's not this guy. That's Paul Mannion. Rock is my danger man. Paul Mannion taking on Shane Enright. Good run by him. Enright sticking tight to him. Playing it outside here again. This now is Rock. This is a tight angle, and that's a point. That's a fair introduction from Dean Rock, we see.
Nice point by Dean Rock, and nice controlled football by Dublin there. Passed the ball around, passed the ball back out to Dean Rock. He was just under the corner of Hill 16, just on the 21 metre line, just between the two of them, and turned around right leg, son of Barney Rock, and just glided the ball over the bar. 14 points to 17. There's just that one goal in it. 44 minutes gone in the game.
Mark Griffin will have his hands full with Rock. Maher goes high, right into the hands of Fionn Fitzgerald. Or is it Crowley? It's Crowley.
Maher's playing a great game around the middle of the field, Gary.
Yes, salute. This is Fionn Fitzgerald. 50-50 ball. Colm Cooper broken from him. Philly McMahon gathers it in his half-back line. Kerry forwards are now retreating. Philly McMahon plays it outside here. And again to Paddy Andrews. Paddy Andrews trying to get out there ahead of his man, and does get out ahead of his man. That's looking like Shane Enright, I think, over there.
Yeah, Shane Enright won a great ball there.
Here now is Tomas O'Shea. This is Mark O'Shea breaking the tackle. Johnny Buckley in front of him. Oh, Mark, you need to get rid of it. Mark pulled to the ground. That has to be a free out. And it is. And Paul Galvin wants to take this free quickly. 45 minutes gone here in Croke Park. Kerry 3-8, Dublin 1-11. That's 17-14. This now is Fionn Fitzgerald, who's had a great game in the half-back line for Kerry, showing really serious composure. Declan O'Sullivan out now around midfield, gathers the ball. The Drummond Pierce's man. Nice ball to Tomas in an advanced position. Colm Cooper's inside him. The Dublin defender doesn't know what to do. Colm calls it. Tomas sells another dummy. This is Darren. Still Colm calls it. They deny him again. Darren, shoulder dipped, going through. Great run, cross the goal. And it has gone really across the goal and gone left and wide.
Yeah, but it was a great effort by Darren O'Sullivan, but he was at a very, very awkward angle. Got in, dipped the shoulder, turned around, went around to his man, got inside, went to punch the ball over the bar, went across the face of the goal. Really, it was at a very difficult angle. He went to punch the ball.
Oh, danger, Diarmuid Connolly. Great kick out by Cluxton. Connolly, there's a loose man. There's a score surely for Dublin. Connolly going through. Connolly taking too much out of it. Bernard Brogan, great save by Keeley. Well, Dublin really messed that one up. There should have been a score at the end of that.
Yeah, well, it was a soft enough shot for Keelan. He handled very well, but once again, the Dublin attack, when they get through, they're very slow to leave off the ball. They're not slick. Kerry are away slicker at the other end, but as you said, the Cluxton kick out. Oh, that was a bad ball.
Mark O'Shea, what are you at? Mark O'Shea with a bad pass. Nobody came towards it. Michael Darren McCauley. I hope Kerry won't rule these chances. McCauley is pulled to the ground.
Down,
close and free. Mark O'Shea's fault there.
Now is the tiredness beginning to creep in, and I see O'Neill is out. The Kerry coach is out. He's saying something. He says something to James O'Donoghue. He's getting him to go back. And if the tiredness is beginning to creep in, Gary, the passes will begin to go astray. Watch carefully now for the subs bench. I bet you Kerry will start introducing his sub very, very sharply.
Peter Crowley's got booked.
And Old Brasson is limbering up.
Mark O'Shea looked up, nobody in front of him. He went back and it was a crazy pass, and Bernard Brogan has tipped it over the bar for his 5th of the afternoon. 2 from frees, 3 from play, and there is only 2 points in it.
Yeah, what I don't like is what's happening. I've been mentioned earlier on. Kerry are inclined to fall back now, 12 and 13 men behind the ball, and they're kind of breaking their style and breaking their rhythm that little bit, and that's what has been happening before. And the ref is calling. I just think this will be a blood sub.
Is it Mark Griffin?
Mark Griffin, yeah.
I think it is. Mark Griffin being called to the line. They need an emergency full back. Who's he going to be? Well, they need to put in someone somewhere. Let's see, is it Aidan O'Mahony maybe?
And the Dublin crowd are rising. The noise is absolutely deafening, and in comes Old Brosnan.
Old Brosnan's going in as a temporary blood sub for Mark Griffin. He'll mark Dean Rock. Keeley with the kick out. All to play for. This is nobody's game yet here in Croke Park. You'll be a brave man or woman or child to call it. It's Dublin in the attack with Jack McCaffrey. The legs is the big question. Have Kerry got the pace? Have they got the fitness to hang on to this lead? A chance here, looking like Paddy Andrews. That's a score again for Dublin. And there's only 1 point in it. And it is Paddy Andrews with the point.
The full forward, his first point in the match there. Lovely point from Underhill, 16. Lovely move by Dublin. Got the ball into Andrews. Andrews between the 14 and the 21. He came back out, settled himself in the left leg and turned around. And with the left leg from just under his seam, popped the ball over the bar. The kick-outs are absolutely vital in this game. If Brendan Keeley can start finding his man, but Dublin are Dublin marking all the Kerry players at the moment.
A 1 point game in Croker. High goes Maher, the break on the way of Dublin. Paul Flynn winning it for Dublin. This game is in the melting pot.
And David Moran's going to be in shortly for Kerry.
Bernard Brogan taking on Mark O'Shea. Bernard Brogan has levelled it up in Croke Park and listen to Hill 16.
Yes, indeed, because Kerry have been beaten around the middle of the field now for the kick-outs, and it's David Moran that's coming in. Gary, watch out for that there. And it's Owen Brosnan is coming back off again. He was only in as a blood sub, and we'll see who's coming off. The Kerry team now. It's Johnny Buckley, I think. Yeah, Johnny was tiring.
Johnny Buckley being called ashore, and it is David Moran who's been introduced. We'll continue with the play. It's 17 points apiece. 1-14 to Dublin, 3-8 to Kerry. Anybody's game. Any slight mistake and it could be critical. It's Crowley. Waiting for it was Maher, looking tired. Way come Dublin again. 17 is Dennis Bastick. Getting the return. Jack McCaffrey, the lead for Dublin, held by Keeley and punching it out from under his crossbar, but only out to a blue jersey. That's Diarmuid Connolly. Connolly gets up off his knees fairly quickly, getting inside Donncha Walsh. Connolly to Brogan. Bernard Brogan back to Connolly. 1 point already from play. Can we now say 2? It's the lead for Dublin and Diarmuid Connolly.
Lovely point by Diarmuid Connolly, and Dublin looking very assured at the moment, passing the ball around, getting into the scoring pace, and Connolly and Brogan teaming up there, kicking into the Hill 16 and put the ball ahead. Dublin gone ahead for the first time.
Peter O'Sullivan is from Tralee. He's listening online in Portland, Oregon, USA. He wants to thank Radio Kerry for the coverage. Listening to the Kingdom against the Dubs from Michigan in America. Say hello to all in Bornish, Road in Dingle and Meathman. With family all over Kerry, Killarney on a skull in this bowl. That's from Stephen Moriarty. The initiative has gone back with Dublin. They lead here by a point. And about to come in really is Owen Brosnan. David Moran has won a free in the middle of the field for Kerry.
Yeah, Owen Brosnan is coming in there, and maybe to be time to be bringing on Kieran Donaghy also.
Declan to Gooch. High ball, Cluxton leaves the goal. Up he goes, Darren Sullivan. Cluxton is punching out. That will be a line ball to Kerry.
Yes, indeed. Dublin a point ahead, 3-8 to 115. An absolutely fascinating game. This is GA football. This is Gaelic football for me at its very best. On comes Owen Brosnan.
Shane Enright
and
gone.
off going Shane Enright, the North Kerry man Tarbert. He'll see many more days at Croke Park, no doubt at all about that.
And Fionn Fitzgerald going back corner back,
That's
and Darren
right, yeah.
O'Sullivan to take it. James O'Donoghue. Eileen Nixon was O'Sullivan from Scart Tables, listening in Lincolnshire with her children Jamie and Ellen. Hello to all the O'Sullivans in Scart, listening in San Jose, California from Tom Fitzgerald. We have more. I'm going to watch the ball for the moment. We'll come back to request. Donaghy's about to come in. It's Galvin. Kerry trail by a point. Tomas. That's a push, definitely, I thought, on Peter Crowley. The referee didn't see it that way. It's Diarmuid Connolly. Back to James McCarthy. Dublin now moving with purpose. James McCarthy. 26 is Dean Rock. Bernard Brogan getting ahead of Mark O'Shea, taking him on. Still Bernard Brogan. The Hill encourage him to run at O'Shea. Bernard Brogan losing it. Fionn Fitzgerald going back there. The Crokes man wishes he's had a great game.
Oh, had a great game, Fionn Fitzgerald. Well played to the young Crokes man. He's after settling in like he was there all his life, and great play by Mark O'Shea, the way he kept Brogan out there. Brogan is down, Brogan is in trouble. His ankle is gone or his knee is gone. We're going to keep an eye on that.
Paul Galvin is coming off. Kieran Donaghy is coming on. That's the switch. The Nelson family in Jacksonville Beach in Florida. Greetings to our friends and fellow fans in Tusist, Lorrock and the Healy Pass. Well, they need every one of the fans here at the moment. Paul Galvin being called off. Kieran Donaghy going on straight into full forward.
Well, Galvin has given his 2 points, 2 vital points, well held by the Dublin man.
Oh, David Morton beaten to it easily by that time by Michael Darragh Macaulay. Brogan is still just about up now. Michael Darragh Macaulay. Dublin lead by a point, 18 to 17.
Next score is vital, Gary.
Vital.
Next
Dean
score
Rock.
is vital, yeah.
Dean Rock inside, turning, twisting, shooting is Mannion, but not scoring. Paul Mannion has missed it.
Yeah, that's the first miss by Dublin now in a long time, but the next score is absolutely vital. There's just those 2 points in it. If Kerry can lift the siege here again. And
Keeley.
Brendan Keeley kicked the ball away out over the sideline over. Terrible kick by him there. Kerry concentration lapsing.
That's what I mean about this quick kick out. Sometimes it's great, more times it's highly dodgy and it's dangerous. And Mannion getting to the ball there ahead of his man. They're having a right old tussle over there. Mannion
picked it off the ground.
Free out. Good work by Peter Crowley.
Picked it clean off the ground, as the fella said.
Good work by Crowley. 53, nearly 54 minutes gone. It ain't for the faint-hearted here, I can tell you, in Croke Park. Dublin 115, Kerry 3-8. Across the face of the goal, Fionn Fitzgerald out for Tomas. He needs to hold on to this one. He does. Just inside his own 45-metre line. David Morton is inside him. He goes. Oh! Mark Griffin lost it. It went into a man. That man was Donncha Walsh. Are the legs getting a bit weary on the come on man? He is still going though. Good work by Donncha Walsh. Darren Sullivan. Oh, Darren with a loose pass looking for Donaghy. Back it goes to James O'Donoghue. He'll do well to get something out of this. Is he charging? 5 blue jerseys. Gooch pulled and tipped to the ground. just as he was about to chip it up. It's a free into Kerry.
A great play by Kerry there, and Colm Cooper. The ball was all around. There was a big bundle of players. The ball broke out. Colm Cooper ran on, tried to chip it up just outside the 21-metre line. A Dublin leg went out, pulled him down. This will be the equaliser, and there's a Dublin man down injured. James McCarthy, the wing back, he went in very, very heavy there at that time on Mark Griffin, and it was the Dublin man who came out. Griffin walks away from him, but it was a late tackle in my book. McCarthy's gone down injured himself, and Colm Cooper's down at the moment, and this is his ankle, Gary.
It could be his ankle, but he also was connected by Cian O'Sullivan in the back of his head as he fell, Wishy. Totally accidental, I must say. When Cian O'Sullivan went through, he caught the head of Colm Cooper with his boot, and it may be that as well. It was a total accidental effort by Cian O'Sullivan, nothing malicious on his part, but this is a close-in free. I'll tell you now, what will win or lose this game, Wishy, is a mistake by any side.
Well, you were right, Gary, and whoever tires the most, and indeed Kerry are well there all the time, and Dublin now really the last 10 minutes, that was probably their best 10 minutes of the game since it began, because they rattled over those 4 points in a row, and Colm Cooper's still out, and they're attending to his ear there, I can see, and hopefully there's not too much damage done there, and he'll be up very, very shortly.
Well, James Horton is a very, very anxious spectator in this. He has a lot of problems, however, he'll be facing in this final, be it Kerry or Dublin. Colm Cooper is still getting attention. Oh God, Kerry don't want to lose him. It's a neck injury to Colm Cooper. They're very, very careful. He did collide, as I said, with Cian O'Sullivan's boot. Let's hope Colm can continue on. He won't want to go off in this one anyway.
No, he will not, Gary. They want the maestro, they want the man to orchestra the whole movement.
He's in trouble, I'd say, we should.
I'd say maybe he is in trouble there. We'll see what's happening. There's one of the Kerry sideline mentors.
Doctor is coming out.
Doctor coming over, yeah. He's going saying something. He's only looking for water. I think he's going to be all right, yeah. He's up. He's up.
Oh, to take water. Colm Cooper. Yeah, it was his head, look. It was his neck. Or
yeah.
It was number 22, Philly McMahon. My apologies to Cian O'Sullivan. It's Philly McMahon that connected, but he's up.
Yeah, he's up.
Thank God.
Completely accidental.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Close in free for Kerry. Let's hope Colm Cooper has recovered enough to take this. This should be a free. This should level it again with 57 minutes gone here in Croke Park.
And we're talking all the time how vital the kick-outs are, how vital it is to cover the men, and how vital it is not to let the goalkeepers kick it out to their own men without really challenging them and picking them up. Colm Cooper tipped this over the bar, and the sides are level again.
Level again. That's the 4th point from Colm. 2 from frees and 2 from play. 57 minutes gone. Dublin 115, Kerry 3-9. That's 18 points apiece. Cluxton with the kick out, short again for Philly McMahon, winning it ahead of Colm Cooper. Donaghy hasn't got into the pace of the game yet. They need him too. Cian O'Sullivan driving it now again to that's Rock, the danger man. It's Jack McCaffrey with a high ball. Keeley comes out and says mine, and holds it. Brogan around him, trying to work his way out. Brendan Keeley getting away from 2 of them. Oh, playing it back safely though across the goal. Good work there by Brendan Keeley. And Kerry now trying to wriggle their way out of this. It's Mark O'Shea. Fionn Fitzgerald, to me, has had a one whale of a game.
Yeah, he's a great game, Gary.
Great bit
game.
of stuff.
Great game in the half back line and in the full back line since he's gone in there. He's very solid and very sound.
David Borden needs to get rid of this one. Owen Brosnan, first touch by the real captain to Declan. Is he out in the 40 now? Getting ahead of Cian O'Sullivan. Declan O'Sullivan away on the far side is Tomas. Coming like a steam train. Declan O'Sullivan still holding onto it. Tomas calling for it. Tomas dipping the shoulder, looking at the post. Oh, high effort by Tomas. It's not going to be a point. Up will go Donaghy. Donaghy trying to break it down. Donaghy palms it out, but only into a blue shirt. It was Johnny Cooper. It was a poor kick by Tomas.
Yeah, it was a very wide kick by Tomas, really. He should have held the ball, maybe. He might have done better. However, he was in a scoring place. But away come Dublin.
Paddy Andrews, 58.5 minutes. Inside again for Paul Mannion. Fionn Fitzgerald near him. Paul Mannion to Bernard Brogan. Brogan back to Rock. Poor finish by him. And this game is there for the taking for anyone.
It is indeed, Gary, because the Dublin attack is looking very jittery at the moment. They're getting the chances, but they're kind of freezing that little bit.
Declan Sullivan caught behind his man.
Yeah, caught badly behind his man.
Cian O'Sullivan. This is Diarmuid Connolly inside the 45. Johnny Cooper up for wing back, going for the point. Johnny Cooper has missed it right and wide for Dublin.
Yeah, but Dublin are making an awful lot of chances for themselves now. There's a Dublin man down at the injured at the moment. Is Diarmuid Connolly, I think, out in the middle of the field. But Dublin, Gary, getting a lot of the ball. They're getting into great scoring positions.
Now they might be changing their tactic because big Owen O'Gara is coming in. He's going to add some height to that square. Paul Mannion being called off, and big O'Gara is going in at the edge of the square. And Mark Griffin now, he's faced big men in his time, Griffin, And he says, welcome to Croke Park, Mark Griffin. Out it goes to the middle. Possession again. Macaulay breaks it down nicely to Paddy Andrews. First touch here, I think. That's looking like him. It is. This is Dean Rock. Tight angle for Dean Rock. And over the bar.
Lovely point by Dean Rock there.
I said when I came on, this man is dangerous.
And once again, it was the kick out that went straight out to the Dublin men. The kick outs are absolutely vital. Dublin beginning to win a lot of ball around the middle of the field now. Long ball into Dean Rock, and he turned around over the bar. Dublin gone ahead again, 19 points to 18. Kerry now, it's up to them to come back again, get that point. Here's the kick
10
out
minutes
again.
of normal time left. Maher, I think that touched him last it did. Line ball under the Hogan stand.
We're losing a lot of ball now, Gary, from the kick out.
We are indeed. Paul Mannion, he broke the line. Well, now that's poor by the linesman. The referee saw that and it happened right in front of the linesman. That should be linesman call. Linesman, you'd want to wake up a little bit there now, my friend. Dublin mentors are saying it wasn't. The referee's adamant it was inside the line.
And actually the ball went to Kerry man, Gary.
It did. Aidan O'Mahony is about to come in. Ball breaks. Brosnan has it. First touch by Owen Brosnan. Kerry trailed by a point. High ball inside. Up goes O'Donoghue. Broken down. High ball not working there, lads. Got to change the tactic maybe. Dennis Bastick. Bastick now gives it to Cian O'Sullivan, who's done well since he's gone back centre back. He's the midfielder wearing 9, but he's a centre back. Donncha Walsh, lovely robbed by the Cremon man. Donncha Walsh gives it now to Kieran Donaghy in the middle of the field though. Donaghy trying to get to the pitch of the game. Gives it to David Morden. David Morden looking for the gooch. Is he gone inside now? Colm Cooper trying to wriggle his way around it. James O'Donoghue with the kick. James O'Donoghue with the point for Kerry. And we're level again in Croke Park.
Oh, great movement there, Donaghy. Lovely ball in along to Colm Cooper. Colm Cooper found James O'Donoghue, the Legion man, has had another point. He went right through. Lovely point by Donoghue over the barrier. Now Mahoney is coming in, and we'll see who's coming off now.
Mark Griffin,
level again. It's Mark Griffin coming off.
Fairness to Griffin,
well
he's had a good
game.
game.
Well done, Mark Griffin. Well done. You'll be heard of again. And Aidan O'Mahony, the Rathmore comes in.
Mahoney's going in. It's freshman against freshman, and Mahoney goes in and O'Gara, and they go shoulder to shoulder. Mahoney's wearing a little bit of a smig in the last couple of months. Mark Griffin gets the hand from Eamon Fitzmaurice. 9 minutes of normal time left. It's Kerry 3-10. It's Dublin 1-16. That's 19 points apiece. Morden breaks it down to Declan. In the middle of the field, Declan O'Sullivan. 2 blue jerseys around him, but he gets away from them. Still Declan to Colm Cooper. Colm looks up. The runner is Darren Sullivan. Tight angle for the Glenbeigh man. It doesn't make a difference. It's the first score for Darren O'Sullivan.
Oh, Darren O'Sullivan is having a great game. He's on top of everything. Declan O'Sullivan, Colm Cooper back to Darren O'Sullivan. Darren O'Sullivan went right through, and a lovely point by him, and popped the ball over the bar. The Glencarman, lovely point by him. Darren O'Sullivan is having a great game. There's plenty of movement in the Kerry legs all the time.
Colm Cooper going mad. No Kerry player picked up Cian O'Sullivan, but clever again kick out by Cluxton. Philly McMahon. Now, long ball again. Dublin have it, and Paul Flynn peeling away as Brogan for the kick. Looking good for Brogan, but left and wide. Another let off for the Kingdom.
Yeah, another let off for the Kingdom there, and Brogan got that ball, turned around, had a go for it, and just pulled it wide across the face of the goal. It's 1-16 to 3-11, 20 points in 19. Kerry are gone ahead, and they're ahead with that point by James O'Donoghue, the Legion man there. Cracking game of football here in Croke Park. There's a Kerry man down over in the middle of the field, Gary. We'll keep an eye on that.
Do you know what, the way it's going, we see nobody deserves to lose this game today. It's a great game.
You know what, this again could finish up in a draw very easy, and I don't did anyone forecast a draw really. No. I didn't hear of anybody forecasting one.
Kerry man down injured. I haven't called it yet who it is. Let me see now if we can try and see who's... I haven't thrown in Brian Sheehan yet. He might be a trump card for the last minute or so, because they've 4 subs introduced, maybe a long distance free. The man coming in now, we won't forget this man, Kevin McMiniman.
How will we ever forget him?
How will we forget the goal he scored in 2011?
Yeah, there's fierce cutting in him. Dublin now emptying their bench, Gary.
The Kerry defender is still down. He's now up. It's Peter Crowley, I think. Anyway, out to the middle. Maher breaks it down to Donncha Walsh. What a great game Walsh has had for Kerry this afternoon.
He's after handling the world of the ball. That's a free against him, I'd say.
Colm Cooper,
Cormac
Riley is giving a free to Kerry. It's a soft enough one.
Yeah, he was going to throw it up first and give a free to Kerry there, but
oh, there's a fight up here.
Fight up at the other end there, yeah.
What the crowd are incensed about.
James O'Donoghue's getting involved. Walk away from him, Donoghue.
It's Kieran Donaghy and his man now. Colm Cooper and his man have got involved.
Yeah, they should walk away from him.
It's Rory Carroll and Kieran Donaghy. They started it.
Yeah, 2 umpires are consulting inside. Referee gone into the umpires. We'll keep an eye on what happens here now. It's very seldom that Cluxton had to bring the ball out of his net 3 times in the first half.
Bernard Broganwish has been taken off.
Yeah.
And it's McMenamin coming in. And Kerry are about to throw in their final sub, who's Jack Sherwood.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, big game for him, Gary. Jack Sherwood hasn't made many appearances, but they tell me that he was going very well in training.
Now, Rory O'Carroll and Kieran Donaghy have both got a yellow for something that had happened up the ball. I didn't see it. I was watching the other end of play, so I can't call it. Anyway, the free is still to be taken by Kerry. Sherwood is not in yet. Tomas O'Shea has the ball in his hands, and Kerry lead by a point.
Yeah, the game is hanging in the balance on a knife edge at the moment.
High ball for Donaghy and Carroll. Donaghy goes up broken. The break has gone the way though of Dublin. Donncha Walsh pulls James McCarthy to the ground. It's a free out to Kerry. Or to Dublin, sorry.
Yeah, the high ball went into Kieran Donaghy there, but the ball was broken. It went straight into him. Unless the ball go in diagonal, he has very little chance. The back has a 60-40 chance of getting it.
Sherwood is coming on.
And in comes Jack Sherwood. This is a big game for the Fireys, man. Big game for him.
He's coming in for Peter Crowley, Wishy.
Yeah, fresh legs, Gary. They're going for fresh legs.
And he's going Marky McMenamin, so it's fresh man against fresh man. Right, the kick out is taken quickly on the free to Rory Carroll. This is with Paul Flynn. 4 minutes of normal time. Kerry lead by a point, and the coach is being pulled to the ground by Carroll. A fight is erupted in the middle of the field. Will carry on. Carroll is already in the yellow. If the referee gives them another one, there'll be a booking.
Wide.
It's another wide for Dublin. Now, if Carroll is reported here, he's on a yellow. He pulled Gooch to the ground. He could walk, but he's not reported.
It happened in front of the linesman, but the linesman is keeping his flag down all the time while all that was going on. Kerry a point ahead, 66 minutes gone, 116 to 311, and 19 points to 20. An absolutely cracking game.
Mayo await the winners. We still can't pick a winner. Kerry lead by 1, 311 to 116. Keeley out to the middle. David Morden and Anthony Maher both go for the same ball. Poor call by the Kerry men. Dennis Bastick, long ball inside looking for Paddy Andrews. Paddy Andrews and Sherwood. Andrews takes him on, pulling him by the jersey. That's a yellow card for the Kerry man.
Yeah, it's a yellow card, Gary.
That's
because
a cynical foul.
He made no effort at all there, really. The man went completely around him, and the Kerry man just caught him around the neck and just put him
Sherwood,
down. Really, Gary, because Jack Sherwood is very inexperienced. It's his first big game in Croke Park, really. I'm just wondering about the fact of bringing him on and throw him into cauldron like that at the moment. It was a bit too much to ask him.
Yeah, well, he's given away a free, and it's a scoreable free to Dublin, and you would think that this will level it with 3 minutes to go. Tight enough angle, all right, in front of Hill 16. We'll wait and see the outcome. Cluxton was going to come up, but there's no need of Cluxton because Dublin are level. It's 1-17. That kick taken by Diarmuid Connolly, putting it over the bar, and we're level again, Wishy, with 2 minutes to go.
And the kick out is absolutely vital. We're talking about it all day long.
The next score could win the semi-final. Poor kick out though. Darren Sullivan not able to get it. Jack McCaffrey has it in the middle of the field. Fouled. Referee says the free. It's around 70 yards out. Oh, he's changed his mind and given it to Kerry. Oh, that's a big call by the referee.
Big call by the ref. Don't know why.
Did he touch it on the ground?
Don't know why, Gary.
That's a massive call, folks. For people not here, Declan to Donaghy or to Maher. Declan is on the run. Way goes the Drummond man. Declan inside to James O'Donoghue. He could be a match winner. Dipping the shoulder. Still James O'Donoghue. Tight angle. Needs help. Should play it out to Donaghy. He does. Declan is there. He have a good left leg. Can he turn? Declan for the kick. Declan O'Sullivan. Declan O'Sullivan. No, he's just put it to the right.
Oh, Declan will be disappointed with that because he was on the right. Watch the kick out again by Cluxton. Look, and he's given out the quick kick out by Cluxton. He doesn't even use the tee. When he wants to get that ball out quick, he doesn't even use the tee. But Kerry are covering that kick out expertly now, and Cluxton is going to have to kick it right out to the middle, and this is going to suit Kerry. They say it is 68 minutes gone, the scores are level, and you can cut the tension in the air, folks.
1 minute to go, and we are level, and the ball is won by Dublin. Oh, Dublin are through. Dublin are through. This must be McMenamin. He did it before. He's done it again. It's a goal for Dublin, and Kevin McMenamin and Kerry are in serious trouble.
Oh, what a mistake by Kerry around the middle of the field. They completely misfielded that ball. McMiniman was left all alone. The ball broke. McMiniman took the return, went right through. It looked like he was going to kick it over the bar, and he went right through, and he just went for the point, and the ball dropped over the Kerry goalkeeper's head and into the back of the net.
Heartache for the Kingdom. With a minute to go, Dublin have got a goal again, just like
Kerry left a huge gap open the back.
It's all like 1982 when Seamus Darby denied the 5 in a row. Declan O'Sullivan has fouled his man. It's gone horribly wrong for Kerry in the last 10 minutes. Last minute.
Yeah, Kerry are going to need a goal now. Points are going to be no good for them.
No, 3 minutes of additional time. Is Kerry's day over? Connolly going through again. This to put 4 in it. Connolly over the bar.
Well, there was a lot of talks about legs and about fitness or anything, and Dublin are finishing tremendously strong. No doubt at all about it. The strength of the Dublin team at the moment is absolutely frightening.
Jack Sherwood fouled. The life is gone in us. Kerry need a goal, but they're 4 down. Owen Brosnan, serious hitting off the ball. Donaghy and Declan kind of go high. Great catch back there by Paul Flynn of Dublin. Dublin now in command. That goal has put another level and another life in Dublin. And it happened really, Weeshy, with a mix-up in the middle of the field.
It did indeed, a bad mix-up in the middle of the field, is right, Gary, and the ball broke away into Mannion, and he went right through and went for the point, but the ball went over the goalkeeper into the back of the net.
Cluxton
but Dublin very strong,
Cluxton made a big deal out of it.
John Fitzgerald is after having a great game.
Brilliant. Cluxton hit the deck like a sack of spuds when he got a touch from Maher. Donoghue gave him one down the neck and said, get up and get on with it. No time to go malicious though. 2 minutes still of normal time to go, and Kerry trailed by 4. And here comes Darren. He needs the speed. He has the speed, but he needs to drive it in around the house, and he does. Up goes 6'7" Donaghy. Donaghy breaks it down. No, into a Dublin man's hand, and I think the life is gone in the Kerry players.
Well, the high ball into the square any time in the second half. It went in Siskill and Donaghy went on. It certainly didn't work because the Dublin were right on top of it. All they had to do was to keep the man behind Donaghy, break it out. They had a man waiting for the break, and away come Dublin again. 71 minutes gone. 2:18 to 3:11. 24 points to 20.
Second yellow for Anthony Maher. Weeshy, he's got a red. Anthony Maher is down to 14 men. Tomas O'Shea is getting a lot of unnecessary off the ball as well. Kerry are down to 14 men, and it's all because of the goal, isn't it?
It is. Well, Gary, it's about the goal, but it's the power of Dublin, the way they finished, really. It's as simple as that. This was the general topic, was the way Dublin would finish the game, and they're finishing it the way they have been doing it all along.
Declan O'Sullivan fouling Rory Carroll on the way out, free to Dublin. It's all gone their way. 3:11 to 2:18, a high scoring semi-final. But one would think that it's going to be Dublin and Mayo in this year's All-Ireland Senior Football Final. The hill is singing and making sweet music if you're a Dublin supporter. Diarmuid Connolly, he's had a great game. High ball, well held by Aidan O'Mahony. We're in the final 30 seconds of the All-Ireland semi-final, and Mahoney drives the ball unfortunately into the stand.
Oh yeah, he did. He just turned around and blazed the ball out over the line. Aidan O'Mahony. We're into the last half a minute of the game. Dublin are in the All-Ireland final. It's going to be Dublin and Mayo. That's the final that everybody was forecasting all along, and away come Dublin again.
And away come the Dubs again. This to put icing on the cake. This for a goal, and no, it's not. Now it is. That's a goal to wrap it up. It hit the crossbar, it came out, and Dean Rock, son of Barney, has put it into the net, and it's 3:18 to 3:11.
Well, Gary, it has been the power of Dublin. It's all over. It's all over. 3:18 to 3:11.
Dublin are through to the All-Ireland final. A late goal. The scoreboard does no reflection on the overall contest, but at the end of the game, Dublin are through and Kerry are out, we see.
Well, at the end of the day, mostly everybody forecast exactly what was going to happen. That Dublin were going to finish stronger, that they had the better bench.
7 points of a differential between the two teams. It was never that. It was never that. But McMiniman, we said he made a bit of an impression in 11, made another big one today.
His goal was in the 70th minute of this All-Ireland semi-final. Huge disappointment for the great Colm Cooper. There is the full-time score. 3:18 to Dublin. Kerry 3:11. Stephen Cluxton didn't have to intervene with that Connolly free.
That was a big point, wasn't it? Oh, really ballsy shot from Jeremy Connolly. Showed a lot of character because it was so key at the time. McMenamin's effort, I really look forward to seeing it tonight on the Sunday game, what the lads make of it. I thought he went for the point. It was the clever thing to do because it would have made a huge difference. But I think he slightly miskicked it and it just beat the goalie. The flight of it ended up in the net.
Brendan Keeley, the Kerry goalkeeper, was a little off his line. It's the first time since 1977 that Dublin have managed back-to-back wins over Kerry in the championship. It's only their 8th victory, and today was the 27th meeting of these two great counties. Ger Brennan, who was taken off at half-time.
And didn't they go about it the right way, Dara? What a game we had from both teams. I mean, Dublin have won it the right way, but I have to say Kerry have also lost it the right way, if you know what I'm saying. They went at it just brilliantly honest in everything they went about. Okay, there's the odd little bit of afters and so on, but that's championship cut and thrust. But the scoring, the tempo, everything about it, tremendous, and Dublin march on.
Two heavyweights going toe-to-toe. They did that all afternoon. When you hear about a match having everything, well, I think we have just been privileged to witness it. Incredible football, and the Kerry players have left the field. The last Dublin players leaving. Bernard Dunn with Bernard Brogan. Bernard, a key part of their backroom team. He knows all about being on the ropes and coming through and winning, and that's what they did. Dublin in the second half scored 2-9 with 11 scorers. Kerry in the second half restricted to just 6 points, all from 6 different scorers. Let's get some reaction, and this man has done it again for Dublin. Claire McNamara.
Kevin, you have done it again. An incredible finish to an incredible game.
Yeah, thanks very much. It was an unbelievable game. I think we were only saying it looking on. It was a great game to watch, and we were begging to be involved, and I only got 7 or 8 minutes, but it was a very strong, powerful finish from the Dublin team, and probably more so the lads like Dean Rock and Owen and Philly Mack that came on. So it's nice to have that bit of unity within the squad that we can push on in the last 10 and finish one off, you know.
Well, you made quite the impact. Talk us through that goal.
I think Mick McCauley hit a great fist there. He put his body on the line to get a ball to me, and I just snuck off the back. And I just started running, I suppose. And I thought the defender was going to come to me, but they kind of played half in between myself and the two boys in the wing. So I just said, I'll try and aim for the crossbar, and it might sneak under or go over, but we'll get something out of it. So
well, you were pretty determined.
Huh?
You were pretty determined.
Oh, very determined, yeah, absolutely.
What about this game, though? Kerry kept with you right until the end.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're a fantastic side, and they punched a lot of holes, and we're going to have to learn a lot of lessons from that game if we've any chance of winning the final. I mean, Mayo were deadly last week against Tyrone, especially in probably the last half an hour, last 50 minutes in particular. And they'll get goals against us if we don't probably tighten up a little bit at the back. But it's great to come away with the win when I suppose we didn't probably play as good as we might.
Well, congratulations on your performance, Kevin.
Thanks very much.
Well, congratulations indeed to Kevin McMenamin and to Dublin, and that is what I call a game of football. Colin O'Rourke, did you enjoy that?
This was one of the greatest sporting occasions I've ever been at, but it was also one of the greatest games of football I have ever seen. I think the media oftentimes, and Kerry people in particular, often say when Dublin win a close match, it's always built up into something greater than maybe it was, like the 77 semi-final. This had it all. This was just the most fantastic game anyone could have been, and anyone sitting at home have been privileged to see. It had it all, and I suppose deja vu for Kerry with Kevin McMenamin coming on, but Dublin were the better team. I think we should say that for the start, and I don't think Kerry could have got much more out of the team today than they did. And with 68 minutes gone and it was a draw match, I was hoping against hope that there wouldn't be another score and we could see it again. But in the end, the youthful energy of Dublin prevailed. and they sort of overwhelmed Kerry in the end. And unfortunately, it may mean the end of some great Kerry players who's been a great privilege to come to Croke Park to see, and it would be a pity, but they went out in style.
Well, actually, a few minutes from the end, I did say to our floor manager, Brian here, a disappointed Kerry man this evening, check when the replay is. But Joe, there wasn't going to be a replay. Dublin just sealed it out.
The game in the end is about glory. You know, that's a glorious victory, a victory with honour by the Dubs, playing the game the right way, living and dying by their man-to-man strategy, you know, playing a beautiful brand of football and playing with tremendous enthusiasm. And, you know, the message should go out from here. The way the Dubs are playing Gaelic football, that's the way everybody should be coaching it. It's the way everybody should want to play it. Well, you know, I was disappointed, I have to say, in the second half with the repeated cynical fouling by Kerry players, repeated cynical fouling. You know, it's I appreciate.
I didn't see too much of it.
Well, that's not correct. That's not correct.
Being negative, Joe.
And the point about it is that, you know, we've seen it again today. The sooner the new rule comes out, and the better that men are being sent off. But you'd have to say the courage of Jim Gavin to stick with his convictions at half time, the way they played in the second half. I mean, it truly was hair-raising. I mean, we were standing up and sitting down and standing up. It was a fabulous occasion and a fabulous game of football.
Pat went down, but went down with glory.
It is. I mean, Joe is nitpicking now and being negative, picking out cynical players. Look, let's not be nitpicking. Look, the bottom line, Michael, we saw everything that was great about Gaelic football. Today was an advertisement for the game of Gaelic football, how it should be played. Two teams who set up their stall positively. Joe has been expounding these defensive systems for years that has ruined the game of Gaelic football. Now there is hope, now there is redemption. It was a brilliant, brilliant game of Gaelic football. Brilliant by Dublin, they showed great character, came behind on several occasions. The substitutions made a huge bit, but can I just pay tribute to the Kerry players, because at the end of that game, 7 of those fellas playing started in the 6 in a row All-Ireland titles back in 2009. They owe nothing to Kerry football. We probably won't see their likes again.
And you know what? Their manager played in some of those with them. Let's hear his thoughts. Eamon Fitzmaurice.
Eamon, quite a wonderful game, but I don't suppose that's much consolation to you right now, is it?
It's not clear, no, it wasn't. We came up to win today and we just came up just short, so look, we're bitterly disappointed. What can we say? We're going down the country empty-handed, simple as that.
It was quite an electric start, those 3 goals. You looked really, really up for this challenge.
We were up for the challenge. We've been written off pretty much for a lot of the summer, and we wanted to answer, you know, a lot of people today, and most of all we just wanted to play for ourselves and play for the group, and we nearly got there, but just not quite enough in the end.
You came in very much as underdogs. I suppose many people not wondering quite what to expect from you, but it was certainly some performance. I mean, with 5 minutes left, you had your noses in front.
Yeah, it was. The game panned out the way we expected it to pan out. We expected we would get goal chances. The way Dublin played, they do leave themselves open at the back. We felt that we had the forwards to punish that, and that's the way it played out in the first half. But look, they're a serious team. We knew that they were favourites for a reason today, and that same man again broke our hearts 2 years ago. Got the goal again today, and he just it was the difference between the sides.
And I suppose, in terms of today, you took some risks as well in your selection. There was a couple of young defenders, I suppose, especially in there with the O'Sheas.
There was, but you know, maybe that point has been missed over the summer. We've a lot of good young lads in the squad as well, and we trust them. We trust every fella that was tagged off there for us today to do a job, and that experience that those lads got playing in front of a full house against Dublin, you can't buy that kind of stuff.
I suppose you broke the pattern of the last couple of games as well, in that you stayed in the game strongly right until the end.
We did, yeah. You know, there was different explanations in the different games for that, but we were confident that we'd be there at the end today, as we were. But you know, we didn't close the deal out. So, like I said, it's not much consolation that we were there at the end. I'd prefer to have had a bit of a fade out and won the game, and you know, that's the way it goes.
You have many very experienced and very decorated players in that team and in this squad. Do you feel that that's maybe the last we'll see of some of them?
I don't know. That's a personal decision for the lads. Today is not a day for thinking about things like that. They've been some of the best players that have ever played the game, never mind played for Kerry. So the lads have a chill now and think about it. Their dedication and example to the younger players this year was absolutely phenomenal. We couldn't have asked for more of them. So today is not a day to be making decisions like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Eamon.
Okay, Claire.
Gracious Kerry manager Eamon Fitzmaurice. Congratulations though to Dublin on reaching this year's All-Ireland football final. We will have more reaction and analysis when we come back from the break, but before that, It is competition time here on the programme. Now, how do you fancy winning a new car and some cash in hand? Well, that is our big competition. And here are the details.
We've teamed up with Opel Ireland, official car partner of the GAA and GPA and proud sponsor of the All-Star Awards, to give you the chance to win a brand new German precision-built 132 Opel Astra. You can choose between the Astra GTC Sport or the Astra 5-door hatchback, both worth over €20,000. Plus there's €1,000 spending money too. For your chance to win a brand new car, answer this. Which of these counties is commonly referred to as the Kingdom? Is it Mayo, Kerry or Tyrone? To enter, call 15 16 71 71 74 or text the word football followed by your answer and name to 57001. Viewers in the north can also text to 57001 or call the number on screen. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Friday, September 6th. More details on RTE Airtel page 194, where the lucky winner will also be announced.
Genie Mac, there was so much to talk about. But, Colm, in the second half, when Kerry were 4 points up, and I actually thought at that stage they were going to stretch on and win this game, they have enough of a little gap, even if the pace was going to go. But there was an important moment when Darren O'Sullivan missed a chance, and then Dublin tacked on a heap of points after that.
Yeah, Dublin came with a run of 5 points in a row after that. Kerry 4, and it showed the bravery and composure of the Dublin team, that even though they were in a very, very tight situation against the Kerry team, whose forward power was rampant, they still managed to come back up. There's no doubt about it, Dean Rock made a huge impact on the game. I think he scored a goal and 3 points. He's becoming super sub along with Kevin.
The other lads were brave. I mean, that was Andrews taking a pot there, and you know, at that stage Dublin needed them.
Absolutely, and Bernard Brogan today, probably for the first time against Mark O'Shea, I think he got 4 or 5 points from play, and he got 2 very important ones when Dublin needed them most. And Diarmuid Connolly here swings one over right to left. He came more into the game, but I think what was happening is the energy of the Dublin players is beginning to overwhelm Kerry. Like Dublin won the second half by 2-9 to 6 points. Now I know that the late goal put a gloss on the game, but it still showed that Dublin for the last 10 minutes were relentless in their approach.
They still needed something. Still needed the goal though, Joe, Dublin.
Well, that was what broke the back of the game. I mean, we could feel it coming. Kerry were increasingly being hemmed in. You know, their inside forwards were being marginalised. I mean, Cooper wasn't able to get on the ball at all. And then Michael Darragh, who's of course an absolute Trojan, sets this guy up, who must be the most patient Gaelic footballer in the land. You know, he sits on the bench. He wins an All-Ireland final a few years ago. Here he comes again today. Beautiful finish.
Goes for a point.
He did not go for a point. How long, boys? He did not go for a point.
You don't go for a goal situation like that. When the game
he went for a point. He went for a point.
Okay,
have it. But can I actually...
If that's the case, it was a great goal, but a terrible effort at a point.
The beauty about the Dubs is this, that they're extremely eager to play the game. They just play it, and there's an excitement about them. And Jim Gavin, I think, is a brilliant figurehead. You know, he's so serene, and he wants them to play that way, and he insists they play that way. But it's a great advertisement for Gaelic football.
You said, Pat, in the ad break there, that reflecting on this, you don't mind losing a game if you've given everything you can.
As a Kerry person, obviously disappointed, but you'll never mind losing a great game of football. That's number one. And Dublin were deserving winners. They won because, as Joe alluded to, they had the pace and the youth and the athleticism that kept pounding at Kerry. Like I said, Kerry had 4 defenders there for the last 10 minutes that were over 30 years of age, and it had to give. But what Kerry did today, they gave it all. They played to their maximum. That was the best performance by Kerry team since probably last year's the All-Ireland final of 2011. It was a superb performance. They came up short. But well done to Dublin. And well done to Jim Gavin. He made vital substitutions, taking off Ger Brennan, bringing on Dennis Bastick, moving Keane O'Sullivan to centre-half back, bringing on Dean Rock. The 2 subs, Rock and Kevin McMillan, scored 2 goals and 2 points. And the even bigger decision, you bring off your marquee forward who has just scored 5 points, 4 from play, Bernard Brogue. That's a sign of a great manager.
So what we'll do, Pat, is we'll send your compliments to the Dublin manager, Jim Gavin, because he's with Clare.
Jim, compliments from the panel on today's game. Obviously another classic in this great fixture, and it brings you a step closer to a league and championship double.
Yeah, it was a great game. You know, 2 teams that really believed that they could win, and both of them show that in the way they played football, the way we believe, and certainly Kerry believe as well, the way it's meant to be played. And both teams really went at it, and it could have went either way at the end. Dublin camp, we were acutely aware of that. Great contest, and we're happy that we're into the final.
You were hit with early goals. Obviously, it's a worry to be conceding them, but you did respond well and didn't let yourselves fall too far behind.
Yeah, there's great resolve and determination and willingness never to quit in this Dublin team. And certainly when we were going down to the final quarter, we had great belief, and the players themselves had great belief in their own ability and the extent of the panel. And we knew that they were going to keep going strong, and I think they kept the intensity of the game up at a great level throughout the full 70 minutes, and it took credit to them for doing that against a formidable Kerry side who really threw everything at us. And as I said, the game could have went either way, but we're happy to go out with the result.
Were you confident throughout, even after that period of momentum you had when Kerry came back at you and went in front?
Yeah, I mean, the game ebbs and flows, and that's just the way, we accept that the way we play our football, that these things will happen, and the game goes up and down, and we just need to keep at it and keep to the game plan. And there's great esprit de corps amongst the group, and they didn't waver, and even at half time there was no sense of panic, and it was very calm actually and very focused, and the feedback from the players is very positive, so they were looking forward to the second half challenge, and thankfully we came through in the end.
And of course your bench made a huge impact today. They're all in the mix now for the final against Mayo. Your thoughts on that? Yeah, I
mean, it's we've 20, we can name 26 guys on any given day, and out of that, we'll use 20, and we've been quite consistent in that in the National League and the Championship as well. Our philosophy is that it's a 20-man game, and it takes us 20 men to get over the sideline. Notwithstanding, we've got 12 guys, 10 guys in the background that are taking that chance to take to the field today, who are put in serious pressure with the guys in training and really motivate them. The players who do start, they really get a motivation from the effort that they see from the other guys in the squad.
Dublin Mayo final, it's the one many people wanted, I suppose.
I don't know about we've just concentrated on each game on its own merits, and our complete focus was on Kerry for this game. But we're really looking forward to it.
Congratulations, Jim.
Good morning.
Dublin win the All-Ireland 2 years ago. This town celebrated for about 12 months after that. What did Jim Gavin do to refocus them and bring them back to where they are now?
Well, he's brought on about, I think, 6 new players, a lot of young players with a lot of energy, and he's gone for pace, and he's playing football. They're the Brazil of football now. It's all out attack, outscore the opposition, and it's great to come and watch, and that's why Croke Park is being filled, but I think it's bad news for Mayo.
OK, well, that's just about all we have time for now. Before we go, let's have a look at what's coming up on RTE Sport this week.